Well, hello, everybody. I'm Adam Noyce of AN Productions. Been a while since I've done anything. Had some personal shit going on in my life right now that, quite frankly, I don't want to get into, but it's been crazy. But nevertheless, here I am doing a live stream. Today I'm going to be talking about Space Amoeba 1970 and The X from Outer Space 1967, which film is better, and everything like that. The pressing matters of our time. Joining me, of course, is a fellow Kaiju aficionado, Lucas Schloth. Say hi, Lucas.
Oh God! Hi everyone. Hi, it's your buddy Lucas here. I go by PowPop. I'm your local funny man, and I'm here to talk about Space Amoeba and the X from Outer Space. And I totally wasn't just casually drinking my soda.
What soda is it?
Oh! Awesome! I get to introduce a drink on your stream too.
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
This is Doc Zip.
Dr. Zip.
Doc Zip. It's Lidl brand's version of Dr. Pepper, and I actually kind of like it.
What? I've never heard of that before. What?
Oh yeah. It's like one that's exclusive to the place Lidl. Have you ever gone to Lidl before?
No, I've never heard of that before in my life.
It's also, in all fairness, it's like a relatively new brand for like grocery stores.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's like their version of Dr. Pepper, and like it tastes slightly different, but I like that slight different taste.
I can tell you this: I do not like Dr. Thunder, which is the Walmart version.
Oh yeah, I've never had that.
I do not like Dr. Thunder.
It's called Dr.
It's called Dr. Thunder.
That's weird.
And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I know Jim is watching. Jim Fresca's watching, and he thought he was being nice by buying the radio studio a few years ago sodas to fill up their fridge.
Yeah.
And it was nothing but this knockoff shit.
I just want to say real quick. Speaking of Jim, I freaking love Doc Zip in the chat right now.
Jen's mom gets it a lot. Okay,
right
so
now.
2 people for Dr. Zip. That means I gotta try it.
Two for
I've
Doc
been
Zip,
drinking.
baby.
I drank the last one a little bit earlier, but the Great Value brand
Ooh,
not Great Value. I'm sorry, the Stop and Shop brand of orange soda, which tastes identical. I could not taste the difference between that. And
I used to
one.
love. My town had I think it was Pathmark. It's actually where that Lidl is now in my town. And they had just like those generic store brand sodas, and I used to love their just generic cola. Like their generic cola, I really enjoyed it, and it was like cheaper too. So we would usually get like a bunch of those sometimes.
Oh, he said a swear. I don't know if that's gonna pop up on my stream or not. Give me a second. Let me take a look.
Yeah, I only see Jim still.
I don't know why my pop-out chat won't let me switch it to live chat.
Yeah.
So if you can refrain from swearing, that'd be great. For ass, I would do $.
Yeah, it's just because they have to censor it.
I would also like to say refrain from using emojis.
Oh shit.
Because boy howdy, have I had to put emojis into my banned list because of the amount of porn bots we've been getting.
I for the first time have gotten those.
So funny. I mean, it's annoying. Don't get me wrong. It is really annoying. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, good God.
I couldn't believe it. I didn't think I would actually get one this soon. I'm like, holy shit, I'm actually getting them.
You should be proud.
Yeah,
be proud.
Yeah, I felt accomplished.
Yeah.
It sucked, but I felt accomplished.
Because you mentioned that when I joined in late, and you were like, oh, Adam, you missed it. We got attacked by porn bots. And I'm like, oh.
It sucks. Like, I don't want to disable emojis. I like emojis. I like people doing them, but it's just like
yeah, and I do too. That. I think sometimes they're really funny and stuff like that. But the porn bots just do emojis, and I'm like, I gotta get rid of them. Because I don't have moderators. No. I should. But
I only just got one last night because my one friend was in chat. It was like, hey, do you want to just make me a moderator in case they'll show up? I'm like, yeah, sure, fuck it. And I just yelled for him, and he'd be like, all right, done. Thank you.
I know I'm in for a good show because my butt is already square.
Oh,
and it is the worst feeling. And I'm a big guy. I'm a big guy, and my butt
for you
is just like, dude.
Damn. Adam right here on stream saying he's dummy thick. I'm sorry.
I'm just fat. It's great. Well, So, Lucas,
Hi.
let's get this ball rolling. So you and I a couple weeks ago had an amazing viewing experience.
Oh yes, oh yes. On the release weekend of Thor: Love and Thunder, instead of seeing Thor: Love and Thunder, we watched a double feature of Space Amoeba and The X from Outer Space. And let me tell you, from what I've heard about Thor: Love and Thunder, I would have been miserable, and I had a much better time watching these two fucking movies.
Well, I was like, okay, we were gonna watch a different movie. We were gonna watch Gettysburg, which is so radically different than what we ended up watching. But a couple friends pulled out, so it was just you and I. And I said, Lucas likes Gazora.
It is true. That is 100% correct.
Lucas is 100% obsessed with Gazora, like creepily
he's cute,
so.
I like him.
No.
Oh well, I wouldn't go that far. Come on. But I do love him. He's a little cute.
Gazora is pretty cute. I personally am a Amoeba guy, the turtle.
Yeah.
But yes, he is pretty cute. And I said, you know what? You haven't seen the movie. Not like it's easy to find here in the West.
And also, in your defense, I just never got around to watching
Well,
it.
it's very difficult to get a copy of Space Amoeba.
Is it
now.
Actually? Because I never like went out to try and find it. Is it actually like that hard to find?
Yes, because that release of the DVD, the one that I showed you, was the only way it was available officially over here in the West, and that's been out of print for years. Like those DVDs, I'm not kidding. Those can go for like anywhere from $50 to $100.
I believe you. I totally believe you on that.
But I had it, so I was like, I'm gonna sit you down, and we're gonna watch this goddamn movie. The interesting thing about all of it is that I specifically warned you it's not a good movie.
Oh yeah, and I want to also mention you warned me about this in like college.
It's not a good movie.
So this was years coming. This was years in the making.
This movie is so clearly everyone phoning it in.
I mean, Adam, can I really quick now give my big review of Space Amoeba? Now that you mentioned that?
I was about to ask, what are your overall thoughts of this masterpiece?
All right, everyone, get ready for this. Probably the hottest take on this stream. No one's gonna see this one coming. Yeah, it's not that good.
I remember I was watching.
It's pretty not that good.
I was talking about the Monsterverse on one of your streams, and I remember you being, speaking of random kaiju or obscure kaiju, Adam just showed me Space Amoeba and the X from Outer Space, and I watched, and everybody knows I love Gazora, and I laughed really hard because you looked at the camera and said, "Yeah, Space Amoeba wasn't that good."
No,
it wasn't that good.
Like everyone said, it's like they were correct or something, that it actually really isn't that good of a movie.
It's not that good of a movie.
It's not.
It is. Everything about the movie is wrong. and I really hate saying that as somebody who makes films, because I know how much hard work goes into to making movies.
I'm not discrediting that. It's just the unfortunate reality is that it just didn't come out fully baked.
Wow, was that tough. Like, I remember the first time watching it when I was younger, and I was so excited because it was one of the few Ishiro Honda movies I hadn't seen before that was available. And then I watched it and was so bored. I was so painfully bored because this film literally does nothing new, and it's very clearly from the 70s, like early 70s, where Toho was really bankrupt for ideas. They were really hemorrhaging for money. And it feels it. It really does feel it. The movie feels lazy. Or lazy's not a good word. Lackluster.
I think lackluster. I said like kind of like half-baked. Like it just didn't really seem like it came fully together.
Yeah, and it's like Ishiro Honda clearly didn't care. It's very, like, there's nothing special about it. It doesn't have that Ishiro Honda. The only thing that screamed Ishiro Honda in it is that character Obara, who was that industrial spy. The ending, that's the only thing that felt even remotely Ishiro Honda.
Yeah.
Nothing else did.
But even with that ending of that character, I mean, do we have to spoiler warn for this movie?
I guarantee you, anybody who's a kaiju fan in my live stream has seen Space Amoeba.
Okay, so because like he's like the guy who gives like the big heroic sacrifice because he's like the last remaining person who has the entire like space amoeba
The
inside
actual
him.
amoeba, yeah.
Even with that, while I thought that was a strong thing for his character and the kind of archetype they were going for that character, the one thing is I felt like it just never got there to the point where I was like, oh shit, he's actually doing this. He's taking his own life, and I'm like, I just kind of like never had a point where it was like I never felt like I saw the turn like the in between with
Well,
him.
it doesn't.
where it
Yeah,
was
like there's no reference other than that he is a slimy businessman throughout the entire film. There's no subtlety to his character at all. There's no moment where he shows maybe a flicker of regret or a flicker of basic humanity in the entire thing. Like, he's blatantly a coward. He tries to run away while everybody is forced to stay on the island. You know, he's just a dick.
Yeah.
And it's not done in the same vein as like Mothra versus Godzilla or even the original Mothra, where the villains are so over the top, you want them to get their comeuppance.
Yeah.
And they do in spectacular style. Surprisingly violent style. I mean, you watch the original Mothra, the main character gets gunned down in a street by machine guns. And it's beautiful. But no, it just doesn't build to anything. And it's got a good cast. Like, it's got Yoshio Tsuchiya, it's got Kenji Zahara, and it's got Akira Kubo. Those are three big actors who played in these giant monster movies and usually do a spectacular job. Like, look at Akira Kubo, who plays the reporter, the photographer.
Yeah.
Invasion of Astro Monster, he plays the nerd scientist who ends up saving the day. You know, with that loud machine that goes off that makes the aliens die. In Son of Godzilla, he plays somewhat of a similar character in Space Amoeba, but a lot more charismatic, where he's a reporter, photographer. He got wind that something was going on this island and said, no, I'm going to follow my stomach. And he lands and has to end up cooking and cleaning everybody's stuff in Son of Godzilla, and it's a cute little character. In Destroy All Monsters, he plays a badass. Granted, it's a one-note character in that film, but he's a badass. Like, he's serious, and you can tell he's going to get the job done. He's got nothing in this film.
Yeah, it's actually funny you mentioned this because, like, that's a good point because I never felt like anyone acting-wise did a bad job in this movie. I never really felt that. And it really kind of just showed the glaring issues with the script as a whole, I guess, and just the overall story they were trying to tell and the directing as a whole.
This is true.
Because I didn't feel like they were doing a bad job. I just felt like there wasn't enough for them, if that makes sense. And enough direction for them.
Definitely. All these actors are great. They have proven themselves to be great in the past and in the future. But it just falls flat. You know, it's clearly a movie that was slapped together, that was made very quickly to fill a hole in their schedule. Literally to fill a hole in their schedule, because I'm not sure if this movie did get released around the time when they started doing the Champion Film Festivals, which were like matinee shows for kids, where they would show a couple of old recut Godzilla films, a couple of episodes of Ultraman, and then a new film. Maybe an anime film, but usually a new film. And I'm pretty sure this was on that list, which is also why the Godzilla movies got a lot shorter as they went along, because they started planning for that. Well, if you look at some of the older Godzilla films, they were usually over an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes. The Champion Film Festival cuts would cut them. They'd be cut down to be about 75 minutes long to really emphasize action. And first movie they started doing that with was Mothra. That was the earliest they went. They did not do the original Godzilla or Rodan, which makes sense. Those were very different kinds of films.
I don't think you could even cut those movies to do something like that.
Well, you couldn't. They're just very different types of films. Well, Mothra was the one that established the sort of kiddie, lighthearted, bright-colored, huge spectacle film that permeated these films for so long and would carry on in through the 1970s. And you can see some of that even in this film. You can see some of the sort of goofiness and the craziness of the colors and everything like that, even in this film. But I want to be clear that this movie to give some historical context to Space Amoeba, was made at a time where Toho was really in dire straits, because by 1970 the Japanese film industry had totally collapsed. And this was in many ways the last of its kind, because this was the last film Toho made under contract, like with contracts that were classic. This is the last one of those big films, and big, quote unquote, but this is the last one of its kind before they started going by a movie basis. The last time they really got to utilize their patented studio system. And it really is the end of an era. Like, this movie is the death of an era in many ways. Not just because of the reshaping Toho would go through in the next couple of years, and that we would see picked up with Godzilla vs. Hedorah, but this was also the movie that was released right after Eiji Tsuburaya's death. Now, to be clear, his protege, Sadamasa Arikawa, had been directing a lot of special effects by that time for... Unfortunately, some people think it was because Eiji Tsuburaya's health was declining. In reality, Eiji Tsuburaya was just busy. He only started really getting sick in mid to late 1969, and ultimately he died because of it. And he died from overwork. I mean, his doctor said, take it easy. He was diabetic, he was a chain smoker, and he just died. I think he was 70 years old, and he just dropped dead in late 1969. And he had not stopped working at Toho. I mean, he was, of course, doing a lot of work with his own production company, but he had not stopped working at Toho. If you look at the movies that he worked on the A-grade sci-fi films. He worked on War of the Gargantuas, Frankenstein Conquers the World, Latitude Zero, King Kong Escapes. Those were the bigger Toho films, sci-fi films. But they also had a B team going on. And those movies was what Sadamasa Arikawa was working on. So Ebirah Horror from the Deep, Son of Godzilla. He did do the special effects for Destroy All Monsters. Probably I'd say his biggest film was Destroy All Monsters. Sadamasa Arikawa was the special effects director on that. And then this film, Space Amoeba.
Yeah.
However, when Eiji Tsuburaya died, Ishiro Honda lost the will to keep working. He just didn't want to keep working, and a lot of special effects crew wanted to stop. Haruo Nakajima wanted to stop working because he felt like they just couldn't continue without Eiji Tsuburaya. He was begged to stay on board by Sadamasa Arikawa and Terayushi Nakano for a few more years, but he would retire in 1972 with Godzilla vs. Gigan. They wanted to tack on at the beginning of this movie a dedication in memory of Eiji Tsuburaya. But for some reason, the main producer of this movie, who was not Tomiyuki Tanaka, but somebody who was not related to him at all, but a guy named Fumio Tanaka, who sort of picked up the mantle when Tomiyuki Tanaka was having a mental breakdown. And Fumio Tanaka blatantly said no. We're not going to put a dedication to Eiji Tsuburaya at the beginning of the movie, despite it not even being a 30-second thing. He just didn't want it there. And that disgusted so many people on the crew, they quit.
Yeah, I mean, totally.
Literally half of the special effects crew walked away, including Sadamasa Arikawa. He quit. Which is why Terayushi Nakano, who unfortunately just passed away, took up the mantle in the 70s. If they gotten the dedication in there, probably Sadamasa Arikawa would have directed those Godzilla movies in the 70s. But because he quit, Terayushi Nakano was next in line. So he had to step up.
Yeah.
But this is a case where the movie, in the background of the movie and the making of the movie, is more interesting than the movie itself.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And it feels it. The movie feels like it's a movie past its prime. It has an odd feeling to it. I just want to say, though, watching it with you, Lucas, I had a blast. Because we were laughing and making fun of it the entire time. It's one of those kind of films.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that you described it as like, how did you just phrase it there? Like something like past its prime.
Yeah, it's like
right?
It's a movie past its prime. Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that because I kind of thought like it kind of hit me when you said that, because you know what this honestly does feel like. it does feel like almost like a parody of kaiju movies you would see in like the background of another movie, if that makes sense. Like they would have it just on in the background on the
Sure.
TV or something. Like it does feel like that.
I can tell you what, the story is that simplistic.
Yeah.
And that was another thing with this movie. Not written by your Toho veterans either, because they were too expensive. It was written by a guy named Ai Ogawa, who had mainly worked with a company called Nikatsu. And if you know anything about Nikatsu, they made a lot of low-budget films. Like, they were the B-movie machines.
Yeah.
I just want to say this. Many of them masterpieces.
Really?
Yeah, like the Seijun Suzuki movies are phenomenal. But they produce low-budget, Yakuza movies and stuff like that. And he wrote a lot of that.
Okay.
He came over to Toho, and he wrote, which are significantly better movies than Space Amoeba, but still kind of lackluster, but fun and weird and creepy. He wrote the Vampire Trilogy, which was 3 horror vampire movies that Toho produced to cash in on the success of Hammer horror films.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about this.
He wrote those.
You were telling me about this.
Yeah, he wrote those, and those are creepy films. They're not great, but they're creepy.
Yeah,
and
they do what they need to do.
Yeah, they do what they need to do. Music was usually done by Richiro Manabe, who would do the music for Godzilla vs. Hedorah and Godzilla vs. Megalon. You do kind of get that vibe. Richiro Manabe was very good at creepy music. He was very good at it, or unnerving music, I should say. And he came over to write Space Amoeba because he was cheap. That's the main reason why. He was cheap. Apparently a really weird guy. Emo comes to mind. Like he kind of goth emo kind of dude before that became a thing. Like he was just brooding, like everybody just sucks, man. Like, like that was him. But yeah, not Shinichi Sekizawa. If this movie was written by Shinichi Sekizawa, it probably would have been a hell of a lot better. That's my issue with it. And I'll say this, and then you can go into other things. But
sure.
This is another one of those movies where I think it was written by the wrong person and directed by the wrong person. Like, I think Ishiro Honda was the wrong person to direct this. Also, the music. Well, we'll talk about that later. But
yeah,
Ishiro Honda does not have the eye for this kind of movie. He just didn't. If Jun Fukuda had directed this movie, I bet you it would have at least visually looked like what we saw in Ebirah and Son of Godzilla.
Yeah, I can see
alone would have made the movie better. I think alone that would have made the movie better. And if it was written by Shinichi Sekizawa, which I don't know, other than budget reasons, why he didn't, probably would have been a lot more livelier.
Yeah. But
as of now, it's just one of the most boring, generic, I should say, kaiju films out there.
Yeah, and it's a shame because it's like you see the roster of like the 3 kaiju in this movie, and they're all like really unique.
They're all cool.
They're really they're all cool. They're like, I didn't dislike any of them. Like all Gazora memeing aside, it's like really they're all like solid designs for like I could see these being giant monsters and kaiju. And I think the best part of this movie is that opening like montage.
Oh, the opening credits are great, aren't they?
It's awesome. It's really cool. Like the lighting and everything about it is awesome. And like I wish it was more of kind of that. But obviously, that's just stylistic stuff. That's like it's not going to lead to a plot or anything.
Well, I'd argue the final fight scene between Amoeba and Ganime.
No, that's true.
Looked visually great. With the red volcano going off and the smoke billowing around them and them roaring and Ifukube's music blaring. That was great. I was like, this is what I want to see right here. Like this is good. The movie's finally getting going.
And they do some cute stuff with the suits too. Like the turtle one, his name was
Kaneba.
what was his name?
Kaneba.
Yeah. He was Kaneba. Okay. Like the way the suit extends out with the neck and everything.
Yeah.
With the crab, you can see like the little pincers move and like some foam will come out too. There's fun stuff there. There's stuff there. It just didn't
go anywhere.
At the end of the day, the full package didn't come together.
It's really sad, but like I think Gazora is the most boring one out of the bunch.
I hate to say, yeah, you're right. It's like he doesn't really do anything. He's
No.
like the primary threat for a little bit, and I feel like his highlight stuff is like there's like the underwater shots with him. But other than that, he's just kind of a lumbering monster. Like he doesn't really do much.
Well,
And he's
you noted how like the top of it just kind of flops around.
yeah, it does. It just kind of flops
And
around like it's
oh
deflated.
man, it looks like it's about to
And,
keel over.
yeah, like in between, like he has like two eyes here, and there's like the piece here, and it'll always be like one-sided on the other.
Yeah, yeah, they're never even. You
Yeah.
know, and Haruo Nakajima played Gezura.
Yeah.
Were you let down by the fact that he never got to fight another monster?
I don't know. I'd say let down. I don't think I would say let down. I think I would just say surprised, considering like he's the one that's marketed all over for this movie the most out of the other two there. Like you see him the most,
You do
and
see
he
him
really
most,
honest is like the least important of all the
yeah.
ones.
Yes.
He's arguably the driving goal. He is like the driving focus of like why they go there in the first place. But like after he gets killed, it's like he's not in the movie. Like that's just the truth. He doesn't really do anything afterwards.
Yeah, and it goes against the posters too, because the posters always have him like picking up Kameba
Yeah,
and stuff like
yeah,
that, and like, nope, they
yeah.
never meet.
And also too with that is like, the crab one. Like what the crab one's name? That was
Ganame.
Ganame. With Ganame, like you see them kill Ganame, and then another Ganame just shows up.
Yes.
Like it's not really explained.
Yeah.
There's just another. There just is another one. I guess you could argue, oh, wait, the space amoeba affected two crabs, and it's like, okay, sure, I understand
It's the
that.
exact same suit.
But at the same time, it's like yeah, it's the exact same suit. There's no scene of another crab being like infected with this, and it's like that's really it. It just kind of shows up without any explanation.
You know, I've been thinking about it, and knowing that the Vampire trilogy was released at, about the same time as Space Amoeba, I have a feeling that the tone of this movie was originally supposed to be, because I know it went through many revisions. Like this was the script was hell because it just kept getting revised and revised and revised. I have a feeling the tone of this movie was not supposed to be lighthearted. It was originally supposed to be horror. Because you look at the opening of this movie, like even the rocket of it taking off and stuff like that, it's in the music underlies it too.
Yeah.
Ifukube's music underlies it too.
Yeah.
Very horror based. The scene where Gezora first shows up and kills the guy, and it gives that other guy PTSD because he just saw his friend get killed, and then he's worried that it put a curse on him.
Yeah, yeah.
That's horror stuff to me. That screams horror.
Even to the effects work for like the makeup work for the slime ball guy when he gets infected with the space amoeba, it's like he it's like way more darkened under his eyes and everything.
Like it's killing him. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's killing him, and like that you'd see in general that kind of makeup you would see in a horror movie or something like that.
It just doesn't follow through with it.
Yeah.
You know, it just didn't quite follow through with any of it, which is too bad. Because there's just inklings of stuff in this that if you went one direction or the other, it probably would have been a very more stronger, more superior film than what we ended up getting.
There was also like the one I just remembered it now because I remember seeing the guy like he tries to light the cave on fire. The whole thing with bats and sonar and all that.
You're really scraping the bottom of the barrel there, aren't you?
Yeah, it really like that. Okay, so that's our secret weapon, weaponizing bats.
Jim asked, "Is it a '70s as The Spy Who Loved Me?" No. This feels more like a '60s movie than anything else. Godzilla vs. Hedorah, on the other hand, is the most '70s movie ever.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I thought the whole thing with bats was silly. Something I wish they played up? Like, there's a whole thing where it's like, suddenly these natives show up with a machine gun.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And you're like, oh, what? And they explained that the Japanese had, during World War II, had swallowed the island in their imperialism, and and there was an army base there, and that they just left all their equipment there, so they start using those weapons against the monsters, which is a cool idea. Yeah. But why don't they play that up? Like, you could really do something with it. Like, the Japanese were maybe mean to the natives, which is why they're really kind of hesitant about them putting a hotel on the island.
And even then, I still don't feel like they explain it well, that that's the situation why those weapons are there in the
They
first
really
place.
don't.
'Cause I
No.
remember when we watched it, I was like, wait, why the fuck do they have a machine gun? Where did that
I remember
come
you
from?
laughing at that. You were like, what?
I was, because it was like, we see this Isle of Natives, and like, you know, they're very like, no technology and all that, and then they come out here with a big machine gun. How am I supposed to react to that?
Well, you see, they knew what their priorities should be. Build a
Fair.
big gun.
Got it. Fair.
You know, I didn't mind too much, and like, I like the idea that Gezora hates fire, because they do establish that he's really cold, that things get really cold. Like, one of the characters almost gets killed by him, but he has frostbite marks all over him. Not suction marks, but frostbite stuff. So they establish that he doesn't like heat, fire makes heat, and it also burns him.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really sad, because his death is really like slow and agonizing. Yeah. And he looks gross. You know, he's got like steam coming off him. He looks like he's actually being cooked calamari.
Oh yeah. Even though he's a cuttlefish.
Even though he's a cuttlefish.
He is a cuttlefish.
Which is so random. So random.
Yeah.
You know, and what's something else we can tackle here?
I'm running through the beats again in my head.
Alien makes no sense.
Yeah, it's just kind of.
Well,
it's like a hype.
This is a genre too, where it's like you take the Alien and the plot with a wide girth of suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
The Alien in this, literally, the rules that the film establishes doesn't work, because it doesn't follow it. You know, it doesn't follow it, like how it can possess other people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It can clearly possess more than one thing at a time, because it possesses Ganime, Kameba, plus the industrial spy at one point. So why doesn't it just go after all the people first? Why would you even bother?
Because it almost seems like
going into a cuttlefish.
Am I wrong to assume it almost seems like, obviously, the rules aren't really explained as to what is the possession of a human where it has full consciousness versus all the kaiju in the movie, where they're just kind of rampaging monsters for the most part. Like when the space marine possesses the guy, he's like full like did they say it was like a hive mind too? Am I wrong? Where it was like,
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I just know that they want to colonize Earth to make it their home.
Yeah.
That's the little motivation that they have. Other than that, we don't know why they're here. Or why they chose Earth.
You'd think like, okay, so you're the space amoeba, and you land on this abandoned island, and you can possess all of these creatures and make them monsters. You'd think the first thing the space amoeba would do is also infect all of the living things on the island as well, like the entire village of natives. Like, imagine they go there, they find the village of natives, and like you find out this whole village is possessed by this big hive mind.
A far more interesting idea for a movie.
Yeah.
Almost H.P. Lovecraftian. You can make something out of that. Much more interesting a movie. Like, these people who are trying to build a hotel, they go there to scout everything out, and the entire island is possessed by this one alien thing.
Yeah.
It would be interesting if they played with the movie where it is that one alien on all of them. That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
That would be very similar to a movie called Contagion. It's an Italian.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's the same Contagion you're thinking of. No,
right, yeah.
I don't think, not Contagion. Contagion's a virus movie.
Yeah, that's because I'm thinking about that,
which is an amazing movie. It is very good.
It was a gross movie, but it had to be. It's
absolutely. That was one of those where it was trying to be as realistic as possible.
Yeah,
and it did an amazing job at it. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my kind of movie. What is this movie called? I'm looking it up. It might be called Alien Contamination. Contamination is definitely one of the titles, but it's also known as Alien Contamination, which is an Alien knockoff, Where
Yeah.
instead, if the eggs explode on you, instead of you getting impregnated and causing a thing to explode out of your chest, no, you just explode.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, if you get any of the slime on you, you just blow up.
Yeah.
Of course. But that
Yeah.
in that movie, there is an alien that sort of controls everybody. Like
Yeah.
everybody gets possessed by it, and it's just one alien.
Yeah. And like not in the same entire vein, but a movie that's kind of similar to this concept that I really like is a found footage film called The Bay. I don't know if you've ever watched that. It's the one where like there's like
Oh,
pollution
I
happening
didn't.
and it calls the. You weren't a
I
fan of it?
wasn't a fan.
I enjoyed
loved
it.
the
I thought
first
it was
half.
really. Yeah. Yeah, I think no, I think that's the strongest part too. I think like when it's just like the outbreak happening in this town as it happens, I think that's like the scariest part of
What
the
was
movie.
the movie
in
called
general.
again?
The Bay.
There we go.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not the Cove. That's the stupid dolphin movie.
Yeah, because this is the one with the isopod. The stupid dolphin movie, Adam. The Cove is about dolphins being slaughtered. You
The
find that
stupid
stupid
dolphin movie that everyone talks about. Yeah, this movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
It was the first half was the best part.
Yeah.
And I thought some of the special effects, the makeup stuff was great.
Yeah. No, I enjoy that movie a lot, but I bring that up just because like that concept, like this is like that's like an entire cordoned off town where all the events are happening specifically in that town.
Yeah.
Now imagine that and take that to Space Amoeba, where the Space Amoeba crash lands on this one island, and these people come to this island and now have to figure out how to deal with this and make sure it doesn't spread to mainland.
That sounds great. It
Yeah,
sounds like a
I think
much
it's
more interesting film than the one that we got.
Yeah. And if you want to have your sequel bait, you could have it like, oh, they escaped the island's in flames, and oh, maybe it's on one of the people on the ship or something. I don't
Isn't
know.
it
Like,
sad that the monsters are the least interesting part of the film?
for this one?
It
Or...
was Space Amoeba.
Yeah, no. It kind of feels like they were really tacked on, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
And well, speaking of tacked on, we'll get into the movie that comes next. But it's
we'll get there when
we'll
we get there.
when we get there. I want to know if you got the same vibes as I did on this, how
Sure.
Lucas. But something that was glaringly wrong to me, even on my first viewing, I was just like, this is wrong, this is off with Space Amoeba, was the music. I don't know if you
I
had
get where
it.
you're coming from. For me, it's more so it just felt generic. There wasn't any track that really stood out to me.
Well, I don't really have that problem. Like, I thought the main title was great.
Okay.
It was my issue with it is that it doesn't fit the tone of the movie.
I can see where you're coming
If
from now.
Masaru Sato had done a similar score to like this movie as like Ebra Horror from the Deep or Son of Godzilla, where it was more jungle based, probably would have fit the movie better. But Ifukube's music is typical Ifukube in that it really plays up these are big monsters, they're big, and I want the music to be kind of unnerving and really brass heavy to make them sound big. Very typical Ifukube score, but this score really feels phoned in as well.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing in there. There's no marches. You know, Ifukube is really known for his military marches. None of that in here. And stuff like that. You know, it just didn't fit. It's just one of those cases. Latitude Zero suffers from many of the issues that I've talked about with this film, which, by the way, a vastly superior film to Space Amoeba, regardless, because it's just so bizarre. But Latitude Zero is another case where I'm like, it's wrong director, wrong music composer. You switch those two things, you would have had a better movie. Ishiro Honda just wasn't right for it. It's supposed to be an action superhero movie, an action adventure movie, and Ishiro Honda didn't make those type of movies. It wasn't. No. He was good at making slow-paced, character-driven movies where they have some sort of message behind it, or, you know, there's some kind of heart behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was being groomed to direct women's film before he got tacked on to making sci-fi films.
Yeah.
The only reason why he got tacked on to do sci-fi films was not because of Godzilla. It was because of Rodan. Godzilla was a huge hit, But Toho said it doesn't matter who the director is; these movies are just going to be big hits. So the first couple of films, like the second Godzilla film, was not directed by Ishiro Honda. It was directed by a guy named Motoyoshi Oda, who was known for making quickie movies.
Mm-hmm.
But then Rodan got released, and Ishiro Honda happened to be put into the director's slot of that. And that movie became the highest-grossing science fiction film that year in the West when it was released.
Okay. Yeah.
And that was when Toho said, this guy's the key. You know,
Yeah.
It's not that Ishiro Honda wanted to make these movies. He didn't. He had his own personal ambitions, was to make more female-orientated movies, as he was being groomed to do, or character films, a lot of character stuff of everyday life, slow-moving movies, very much in the same vein as like Yoshijiro Ozu, those kind of movies. And no, he just got roped into doing science fiction because they were huge successes, and he was good at them.
Yeah.
He proved time and time again he was very good at making these movies. More so than I can't think of any other director, really, in the history of cinema who has made more classic sci-fi than this guy.
It's a little tragic to think about that, where it's like it's not kind of really necessarily what he wanted to do.
No, it wasn't.
And like,
no,
yeah.
His
like,
career, and he was pretty vocal about it towards the end, was vastly unfulfilled.
Yeah, because to me that's like a nightmare. That's like I make like I don't know. I make a documentary piece. I'm like, I don't want to make a documentary piece. And like, oh, but you did a really good job, so that's your future for now. I'm like, oh. Okay.
Well, I think I might get flack for this, but I think Ishiro Honda did a lot of that to himself because he was a loyal company man.
Yeah.
He would say yes to whatever they put on his desk, whatever it was.
Yeah, and in retrospect, and in defense of that, I get that. Like, if
he was
that's
very
what's getting
loyal
you
to
the
Toho.
bills, like, if you're loyal and that's what's getting you the bills, like, I get that. But at the same time, it's like it sucks that.
Well,
that
yeah,
really
because his best friend Akira Kurosawa quit that system so he could make his own movies, and it bit him in the ass. Akira Kurosawa went through a huge meltdown in the 70s. It was very publicized too. He tried to kill himself. Yeah, he was so depressed that nothing he was doing was working, and he was having a huge meltdown. And Ishiro Honda didn't want that, so eventually Ishiro Honda just quit. He just quit. He thought it had gotten too ridiculous, and he quit. And he worked with television for a while. He directed several episodes of Ultraman Jack, several episodes of Zone Fighter. So did Jun Fukuda. So he worked with television between 1970 and 1975, but eventually he came back to Toho to work on one last Godzilla movie, and that was Terror of Mechagodzilla. And he mainly did that for a paycheck.
Yeah.
You know? And it's a good movie!
Yeah, great movie. Like, that's the best part. At least that's like actually a great movie. That movie's great.
Yeah, I mean, you look at like Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, extremely fun movie. But if you want to really talk about which film, in my opinion, is like the superior one with the better themes and the deeper meaning, it's Terror of Mechagodzilla, hands down. Night and day different movies.
And like I actually agree with you with that, because like even though I do love and I prefer Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, I think Terror of Mechagodzilla is a stronger movie. Like,
it is overall a stronger movie.
Inarguably, like.
Yeah. If I were to put one on, it would be Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. Like, if I want to watch one, more than Terror of Mechagodzilla. Terror of Mechagodzilla is a surprisingly depressing movie.
Yeah. I mean, Titanosaurus is just kind of a depressing kaiju in general.
It's a tragic kaiju, in typical Ishiro Honda. You know, none of that in Space Amoeba.
Nah.
This is very clearly a paycheck.
Just Ghidorah going back and forth, waving his tentacles around, then he dies.
Ghidorah looks the worst out of all the kaiju.
It really is a shame that it's like that's out of all the ones you marketed the heaviest, it's that one.
Yes.
I still love him. Don't get me wrong.
He is cute.
But you can't argue of the three suits in this movie, that is inarguably the worst one.
Oh boy, howdy, was it? Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's like inarguably.
Boring movie.
Yeah.
Not one I would recommend watching on your own.
Yeah, that I think I wouldn't have even finished it on my own, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Maybe I would have been stubborn, and maybe I would have finished it. Just your stubbornness, but like that would be a hard sit. That would be a constant. Yeah. Like going back and forth on my phone, like it's.
Well, it's like The only line in the movie, well, I laughed my ass off at
Oh
it
yeah,
anyways, was when the doctor just immediately went to space creatures for no reason at
yeah,
all.
space creatures.
The exact wording.
Yep.
And
Great line.
I remember I wrote markup because I started laughing at that. And he started laughing at it because I'm like, what is this?
Space creatures. That's what it is,
and it's just how he jumps to it. Like, I know it's exactly what's happening, but it's the fact that the biologist, without any evidence,
inarguable fact, space creatures.
Space creatures.
Oh
It
my
is
God.
definitely space creatures.
Without a doubt.
It's very similar to it. Well, I can't even say that. In Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, the main scientist sees Mechagodzilla and goes, he's being controlled by spacemen. Like almost immediately.
Yeah.
But even that has a little more plausibility because in the previous scenes with him, he's examining a piece of metal and he realizes it's space titanium. It's only found in space.
And also, like, I don't know at that point, had the reveal happened
yes,
yet?
the moment the reveal happens that it's Mechagodzilla, he goes, I believe the robot Godzilla is being controlled by spacemen.
Oh, I was talking the reveal of, like, the pilot, the aliens inside.
Oh, yeah, that happened. We're not really official. Yeah, we do know that they're aliens because he clearly maniacally says, the Earth people must be astonished.
Is it? I might be getting mixed up. Is Mechagodzilla the one where they have like the ape?
Yes.
The ape kind of like alien. Yeah. Because like, I know there's the big scene
clearly cashing in on the popularity of Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how these film historians, these film snobs who like Godzilla, can say Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla is a letdown? And I'm not saying fans. I am saying the historian snobs that wrote a lot of literature on Godzilla say that this movie let them down, and I go, how? This movie has literally everything in it, including the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
You've got a Mechagodzilla, Godzilla, a lion god.
Oh yeah.
On Okinawa.
Can't forget King Caesar.
Like, aliens, space apes. Not just aliens, space apes.
That's the reason why I've always liked that movie. Is that like it just feels like this feels like when someone thinks of Godzilla, this is the movie that comes to mind. And I mean that in the most complimentary and
James
loving way.
Bond style antics throughout the entire thing. Gunplay. You have action. What more do you want in this movie? Like, what more do you want?
You have a song number.
You have a random musical number.
Oh my God. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
You can't beat it.
And you got Angerus.
Oh yeah.
He's in it.
He's in it.
He's there.
He's in it. And I'm just like, how can you say this movie is a letdown?
There's so much going on.
There's so much happening in this movie. You almost can't keep track of it. Oh God. It's great.
Love that movie.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Always
it's
will.
wonderful. And so much fun. So much fun. Godzilla. I had something I wanted to say, but Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla is just so much fun.
Of course.
Space apes.
Space. As is, you know.
I remember seeing that for the first time, and I was like, monkeys?
To me, I think about that. I think about how the aliens in that movie are space apes, and then you go flash forward to Godzilla vs. Gigan, and they're just cockroaches.
Flash backwards. That came out first. Gigan came out first.
Yeah. I'm sorry, yeah.
Well, Mechagodzilla is a much more interesting movie than Gigan.
I agree with you.
The aliens... Well, I think the aliens are interesting in both.
Yeah.
I do think the aliens are interesting in both, but I just think Mechagodzilla is more silly.
Yeah.
But I think, you know what? You brought up a good point, Lucas. If people which Godzilla film comes to mind? Like, what type of Godzilla film comes to mind when people talk about Godzilla?
Yeah.
I think this and Megalon.
Megalon's a good pick. Megalon is definitely a good pick solely because of how much the drop kick became
Well,
like.
the movie was a hit. Like, for some
Yeah,
reason, this movie
yeah,
was a huge hit over here.
yeah. That and like Jet Jaguar,
Yeah,
like, yeah,
and everyone, when somebody thinks of Godzilla, I think they visualize something like
yeah.
Godzilla versus Megalon.
At the very least, the Showa era specifically.
Well, I think the
Like,
Showa era is what people think of. Like
yeah.
when
Oh,
somebody
okay.
talks
I
to
get what
Joe
you're saying.
Schmo
Yeah.
on the street
Yeah.
and says, "What do you know about Godzilla?" They're going to think Showa era style film,
That's a good point too. Yeah, I actually didn't even think of that.
because that's what's been ingrained in pop culture more than anything else.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that. So, final thoughts on Space Amoeba, Lucas?
Final thoughts on Space Amoeba, huh?
We've come to this.
So Space Amoeba is a movie, and it has Gazora in it, and it ain't that good. That's just kind of the truth.
It's not that good.
It's just kind of the truth. It's just kind of shocking to me how like nothing of a movie it is, really, truthfully. And it's like there's pieces there. You see there's something there, but nothing is going into the right hole. It's like the little toy where you have like the circle, the square, and the triangle. No, everyone's trying to put like the triangle and the circle and the fucking square and the square and the fucking circle, and like they're trying to put in the same one. They're not even trying the additional one. They're just trying to put in the same one, and it's like nothing's working here, man. Like you can keep trying, it's not working.
I never made that comparison before, but it's very apt. It is very apt.
Thank you. I got scared for a second. I was talking out of my ass, but I was like, all right, I am making a decent comparison here. Okay.
Nah, I actually agree with you. I'm just like, this movie suffers the worst cardinal sin of any film, which is it's boring. And
yeah.
I would not recommend it.
I don't think I would either, to be honest with you. I don't think I'd want like someone to be like, oh, Lucas, I want to get into like kaiju stuff because you really like it. What would you recommend? Oh, check out Space Amoeba. That's a good one.
Or Yog-monster from Space, as it was released over here.
Smack him on the back, just like, oh yeah, you get him, champ.
Yeah, 100%. And it would turn anybody into a kaiju film. Wonderful film, 4 out of 4, 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah, excellent.
I can't wait for the sequel.
Movie. When's the Criterion release coming
out?
Oh,
that'd be hysterical.
I need to put it next to Parasite and fucking Uncut Gems.
Space Amoeba.
Yeah.
It's. I only recommend it to completionists. Like,
yeah.
I got this movie. I was excited when I got it, but like, if you are a fan of Ishiro Honda, you need it. But that's about it.
Yeah, I would only recommend it to people who are just like have watched through everything at this point. And it's like, what's left? You like move over like a few like crumbs, and like, oh, Space Amoeba, you watch that one,
right? Yeah. What's left? Or if you have a bunch of friends that are just being silly or drunk, it's a great film for that.
That'd be a blast.
Because I had fun watching it with you, Lucas. Like, we were just laughing and shitting on it the entire.
Me too.
We weren't. I want to clear that up. We weren't really shitting on the movie as much as we were just laughing. How
we were
ridiculous it was.
Yeah, you're just firing off some quips every now and then about it. It's just like honestly, it was very like Mystery Science Theater-esque our time with it.
It was wonderful. Yeah, it's wrong. This movie, Space Amoeba is the uncanny valley. The entire movie is the uncanny valley. Everything is just slightly off.
I love you mentioned that. You know what scene kind of encapsulates that to me in that movie? The scene where Gazora destroys the one building.
Yeah.
And like, it should be way more destructive to the one guy who's in there as it is. Is he only gets like a scrape on his arm or something?
It's like a scrape on his arm. Yeah. Oh
wait, hold on. I didn't bring up the one thing in this movie. I didn't bring up the one guy in that scene who gets traumatized by Gazora, and he's just brought around the movie staring the whole time like.
You got to cross your eyes a bit. You have to have a slight cross eyes.
Just like that, yeah. He's like that the whole movie.
Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can't do it. Hold on. It's a very specific look. It's
yeah. No, but like that guy's like he's just waddles around the whole movie at that point, and then he's forced into a wedding, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, like how could I forget that? This guy without his consent was forced into be married to someone.
I forgot about the forced marriage.
Like, my God.
He's getting married against his consent.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
We were laughing so hard at that.
Because it was fucked up. Like,
Oh, God. Because they come up to them randomly after killing Gazora, right? And she's like, she's guiding him because he's just like...
yeah, he's, like, not aware of what's going on,
And
man.
suddenly the girl goes, we're getting married.
It's scary. It's skeevy. It's wrong. Like...
Wait a little bit, please.
yeah, wait till he has consciousness
I
again
love
and is sentient.
how everyone is just okay with the fact that, hey, there was this giant octopus that just showed up.
Tactor Village, you know.
However, we're okay with this now. Like some people died. But hey, let's have a wedding.
Yeah, boy. Well, that's actually, you know, Adam, you say that. That's really that kind of concept is really fitting to the next movie, also as well.
Oh my God, is it ever?
But also the fucking, I didn't even mention the slight digital effects this movie has too, with the tentacles and how they were.
Oh, they were animated.
Yeah, those were definitely animated tentacles, all right.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm so glad I remembered that fucking guy who gets forcibly wedded, because I'm like, what
Oh,
yeah, that's really fucked up.
That's really fucked up.
Like,
It's also unintentionally hysterical.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's unintentionally hysterical.
It's only hysterical because everyone in the plot is okay with it.
Yes. 100%. Like, they didn't even kill Gazora yet.
No.
Like, he showed up, he just destroyed a building, he's just killed another guy. Let's have a wedding.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, Groom looks fine. Yeah, look at how's the Groom doing?
Look at him, he's slightly less cross-eyed than usual. We're fine. And I wish I was exaggerating. Literally, he's cross-eyed.
Yeah.
And oh, you know what else was odd? This is what I mean by it's the uncanny valley of movies.
Yeah.
Where they bring him to this hospital thing when he first, he's out of it. They lay him down the wrong way.
Oh yeah.
Like, he's laid down. Like, they lay him down. You think they would put his head towards the window, like how you normally sleep with your head towards the wall.
Yeah.
They lay him down with his feet towards the wall. And I'm like, wrong way, bud. Turn him.
Although, bro, like, this is not how it works.
And the movie is full of shit like that. And
it is.
It's.
I'm just seeing you like quip on screen, like wince on screen like that.
I will say this: it is not as bad as in the next movie.
And like I say, it's like Space Amoeba's not the worst movie I've ever watched, but it's not necessarily good.
Far from it. I've seen so many movies worse than Space Amoeba, but
I've seen movies that are like inarguably like better movies than Space Amoeba that I think are worse than Space Amoeba.
Oh yeah. Hands down.
Whether it's a personal offense or just like I think this is just not a good fucking movie.
I will say this: I think The Giant Claw is better than Space Amoeba. Out of sheer enjoyment.
As a Giant Claw enthusiast, I respect it. Yeah.
That is the uncanny valley of movies.
That is a movie I want to. We should rewatch that. Sometime. I think that's something we should watch together. The Giant Claw.
I will get as many people over here as possible to experience The Giant Claw. The movie is art.
It is a movie.
Another movie that I enjoy more than Space Amoeba, other than just about every movie ever made, The Killer Shrews. That movie is so enjoyable and so silly.
That's a funny one.
I still want to remake it. Fuck it. I still want to remake it. I'm so glad you mentioned that wedding thing because we were laughing so hard at that.
Me too. Because like it's just such a what the fuck thing in this movie.
Oh, and like we thought Gazora killed the priest, but in like the next scene he's fine.
Yeah, and he's fine. I forgot about that.
I'm like, oh my god.
The way it was shot looked like he was
gone. He was gone. He was killed. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
he's alive. He's good.
He's fine.
Right.
He's fine.
Cool.
Fine.
Cool. Great.
Bats. Anyways. And all the bats in this movie are terrible. They are clearly hung on a string, like from 30s 30s Universal horror movies. To the point you can see strings.
I know I said it. It's just like the concept that like we want to control bats to help us. I'm like,
Yes.
how the fuck are you gonna do that?
No, not to help them. They wanted to kill them all. Or the alien wanted to kill them all. The humans wanted to use bats to protect themselves.
Yeah, but how are you gonna train wild bats to protect you in this scenario? That's what I'm kind of trying to get at here. They're fucking bats.
Space magic.
Oh shit.
Space creatures. It must be space creatures.
Yeah, that's true. Has to be space creatures.
I laughed so hard the first time I heard that line.
I believe you. Like, totally.
It must be space creatures. Yes.
Of course.
Oh, man. But yeah, Uncanny Valley. It is a boring movie. I give this movie a 50 out of 100.
50 out of 100. I think that's generous. Honestly.
No, because it's not good. It's not terrible. Yeah. It's an ugly in between.
Yeah, because I scale on like 1 to 10. So basically, what you're doing still, it's just I refused. I removed the 2 zeros. I removed the 2 zeros from it. But yeah, for me, like, and I actually now that I think about it, it's not that far off. I would give it like a 4 or something.
Well, yeah, like if I do my normal thing, which I haven't done forever, but it's me rating out of 4 stars, it'd get 2.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't deserve anything more than that. And I think that's what I gave it on Ishiro Honda-thon when I first talked about it. And that was another time where I spent more time talking about the interesting behind-the-scenes shit than
the actual movie.
Actually talking about the movie. Yeah, so that was Space Amoeba.
Space Amoeba.
A.K.A. Yog-monster from space, if you saw it over here in the United States on television, which is an immensely better title. I guess they renamed the creature Yog. Instead of it being just Space Amoeba, it was Yog.
The infamous Yog. But that wasn't the only thing we watched that night, Adam.
No. Lucas, why don't you talk about it? What else did we watch that night?
So, we just planned to watch Space Amoeba that night. And then Adam brought up another little movie that I was not ever aware of called The X from Outer Space. And let me tell you, The X of Outer Space is truly out of this world. Let me tell you. Oh my god. That was I learned of a new favorite kaiju in Guilala. Guilala does way more than Gazora.
Guilala is the most unintentionally cute kaiju I can think of.
He's adorable.
He's
Look
adorable.
At him. He looks like little Jimbo made his own fucking kaiju costume. I mean, that is a compliment.
And
he's trying.
Everything with this movie is wrong. Literally everything with this movie is wrong. The only thing that's right in this film, and I can't even say that 100% of the time, is special effects. Because it's quite clear they put a lot of work and effort into building these sets and these miniatures, especially the space stuff. Like you look at the space stuff in the film, and it looks great. It really does. Yeah. Like, these are good miniatures. These are good sets. These are good, you know.
It was fun. It was fun to see the wide shots of, like, the ship.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can tell it's just, like, a small little, like, model or something.
Yeah.
But it was fun. The scope of it really made it fun. And, like, it's like, oh, look at this little ship going here. And it's like, ooh.
Yeah, and the moon base and everything like that. Like, that's fine. I even think, like, a lot of the special effects are fine with Guilala. I mean, I think they clearly put a decent amount of change into the special effects, other than the one jet that slams into his face and doesn't explode on time. That was rather comical.
I forgot about that. And, like, for the time period too, I think that looks fine. But with all the compliments of like that, the actual movie. I
want to preface this by saying what Robert Osborne, the late great Robert Osborne, said when he introduced this movie when it premiered on TCM. This, by the way, not Godzilla, not a classic. The X from Outer Space was the first movie to ever be broadcast on cable television in its original aspect ratio and original language subtitled.
Oh my god.
This movie.
Beautiful.
You say beautiful. It really, it's fate. But anyways, The X from Outer Space. He introduces the movie and calls it bizarre. which I'm like, oh, I'm on board. And then he goes, now if you're ready, and you're sure you're ready, here is the X from outer space. And I had seen it before that. I really had, but not in its original language. I'd seen the TV cut of the film, which was
Yeah.
the dub. I don't know if it makes it better or worse, Lucas. I really that fucking dub is terrible.
Yeah, this seems like you'll never know unless you open the box and experience it yourself.
Yeah. I'm gonna piss off a lot of fans for shitting on Space Amoeba. Yeah, of course I am. I love how Space Amoeba will trigger them. I don't think it will. I don't think anyone gives a shit about Space Amoeba.
There's a Space Amoeba elitist out there who's like, this is like the secret best movie ever made. This movie, no one understood the deep underlying meaning of Space Amoeba.
Well, people do that with Godzilla's Revenge, so
I know.
I know.
No.
I don't care if Ishiro Honda made it. It's a bad movie.
It's very clear what that movie. I'm not gonna come here out and being like, oh, my opinions are right or right yours. I'm not gonna do that. No. But Godzilla's Revenge, huh?
No, everyone's calling it like the lost Ishiro Honda masterpiece, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's terrible, guys.
It's a movie about a kid dealing with his bullies in the most ham-fisted way possible.
And then it ends with a fuck you ending. The ending literally ruins the movie, the message of the film. I'm like, what the fuck? He's just turned into a bully. Can't beat him, join him.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, just like...
What? It's not what? Literally, if they just cut out the ending, I've been like, okay, whatever.
Just no. It's like, nah.
Sorry, I remember being so pissed off with Godzilla's Revenge when I first watched it because I was like, look at this title. Oh.
Yeah.
What is what's pissed Godzilla off? Why is he getting revenge? I'm picturing like Liam Neeson kind of Godzilla, where he's like, I have a particular set of skills.
I mean, you get like fucking murked in this movie or something, and it's like, I'm fucking out for blood now.
I'm out for blood.
No, he just gets bullied a little bit.
You kidnapped my minion. Now I'm gonna kidnap your face.
He fucking rips, he goes full on Michael Bay Optimus Prime and rips off Gabbara's face because that's a recurring thing that Optimus Prime just in those movies just rips off faces in those movies.
Yes.
Oh, the guy who's talking about Michael Bay Transformers is going to criticize my opinion on Godzilla's Revenge. I'm not saying they're good movies. I'm just saying what I'm saying, man. I wanted to just point that out before it ever became a thing.
I will say this. I've been playing Sonic Heroes for some reason with Antonio on his stuff.
For some reason.
And there's a cringe line in that film, or in that game.
In that film?
Where Sonic goes, it's time to show him the true power of teamwork.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that one went all over, that's always been a thing.
And I remember when I heard that, I laughed and I looked at it, then I just stopped, and Steve and Antonio were looking at me, and I just went, yeah, this game's kind of silly. and I was laughing at that. They're like, Adam, you're saying that, but you like Godzilla? And I'm like, first off, in Godzilla, I can't think of any line that made me cringe as much as we're going to show you the true power of teamwork. The thing that came closest to that was... Listen, kid. There's two things you gotta know about the Earth.
No, that line's great.
I know. The line is the greatest line in cinematic history.
Don't talk about Gordon like that.
Every line that man says in Godzilla Final Wars is treasure. It is oozing with pure charisma.
And sweat.
And mustache.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
But I finished the line, though. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just had to defend Gordon really quick.
Well, no, I was just going to say, that line, you hear it, and you're like, oh, that's so silly.
Yeah.
Oh, no, maybe there's one in Godzilla 2000, and it's the line at the end of the movie where the guy goes, that's because I think Godzilla's inside all of us.
That's a great one.
That one made
But
me
it
kind of
also
cringe a little.
with fucking Gordon. That's kind of Final
Oh,
Wars.
that entire movie, it fits the movie.
I love Final Wars,
I do
but
too.
you can't argue that movie is silly.
I do too. That movie is everything I wanted in a grand finale.
Homie, King Caesar kicks Anguirus like a
soccer ball.
Like, remember the portrayal of New York City in that movie?
It's the most accurate thing I've ever seen.
All right. I'll give you that.
It's a great movie. I love Godzilla Final Wars.
It was just missing someone going, I'm walking here.
I love Godzilla Final Wars. And then he pulls out a
me
hand
too.
cannon. He calls it a hand cannon. Come on, but put the gun down.
Fucking, like, the fucking force that takes down Ebera. Like,
Oh, that was awesome.
oh, fuck yeah,
That
it
was awesome.
Like,
People flying all over the place. They got their laser guns. And then there's one part that makes me laugh my ass off. Is it cuts to Ebera destroying something. And it hard cuts to, like, the leader of that squad. And an explosion goes off behind him. And he goes, whoa. All right. And then he turns around and starts talking to the other people. Like, this is beautiful.
fucking Final Wars.
Oh, it's so...
Such.
Godzilla.
That is another movie I do think of, like, when it's like someone thinks of Godzilla. That's another one that does come to mind. Final
well,
Wars
because
is-
it's an homage to 70s. And
Yeah,
that particularly 70s era monster movies.
Yeah.
Not just monster movies, but also, like, the television shows, like Kamen Rider. Clear influence on the motorcycle sequence.
yeah. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
Plus other stuff, you know. It just, that movie is another example of a movie where they literally threw everything in it, including the kitchen sink,
Yeah.
to the point that it's over bloated, and it somehow turns that into a benefit.
Yeah.
Even
I
Minya.
still, in my own, Minya has a big moment in this movie too. It's the best Minya's ever fucking looked, honestly.
Yeah.
I still, to this day, it is just in my vocabulary. If anything has X in the title, I just go, X.
Oh, yeah.
That is just ingrained in my brain. It will never leave.
Now, can you say that about the X from outer space?
Well, they never just call it the X from outer space, so I don't think I
I
can.
would have loved that if in the movie, like
It's-
they like when they kill it, and she picks up the egg. Truly, this was the X from outer space.
What would that even mean?
What? Well, I know the X from outer space is the American title. What is the Japanese
What
one?
is the I don't know.
Giant
what is the, I
space
just
monster
noticed-
Guilala.
Oh, all right. That's pretty straightforward.
Uchu dai kaiju girara.
Ah.
Giant space monster Guilala.
Yeah,
Of course.
makes sense.
I remember when I told you the name of the substance that kills him.
I didn't believe you. I didn't believe you. I thought you were joking. I'm like, is really?
Yeah, Gilalalanium.
But of course.
It
Like, I never thought I would find something like that like tops unobtainium from Avatar. No.
Gilalalanium.
Gilalalanium. Yeah.
The monster
Fuck it.
Guilala, therefore the substance that kills him should be called Gilalalanium.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
Guilala is not a pleasing thing to say. No, it's not a pleasing name. But then you also have the spaceship, the AAB Gamma, which is also...
Oh, yeah, I know the AAB Gamma. Oh, let me tell you. AAB Gamma. Reporting in AAB Gamma. Like, every fucking scene.
It's literally every fucking scene that thing is.
You just awoke it. Adam, you just set something off. You just said something like, there's something I want to talk, and I guess we're going to go into it right now, is there's a point in this fucking movie, and I'm really not joking here, where it is, I'm going to go through it right now. So this is after Guilala is unleashed. It is Guilala destroying the city, being attacked by the army, the main base, trying to contact the people who are in space, the people who are in space dicking around in space trying to figure out whatever the fuck they're doing. Rinse and repeat those three structures for like 5 times in a row. And when we watched it, I remember I was going crazy. I was just like, this is still happening. This is just the same thing over and over again. Like, it's
over and over, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, it was insane. It was just like,
well, I love this right? I started laughing at this, and you looked over at me. We're like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Lucas, just wait." And like, this is before Guilala shows up. This is when they're in space. Like, you know, they have to go to the moon because somebody gets fucking space dementia. So they go back to space, and then they take off again.
Yep. The solution to anything in this movie, the solution. We gotta go to space.
We gotta go to the moon.
We gotta go to the moon. We don't even they don't even reach Mars. Like
objective.
They're trying the whole thing. The beginning is they're trying to go to Mars. They never reach Mars.
Their objective is to reach Mars. They don't even get close to reaching Mars.
They never do.
And like, so they take off. All right. So what? Their main scientist dude gets sick, right?
Okay.
We got to take him to the moon. Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because there's a moon base.
There's a moon base. So they take him to the moon. He's fine. But no, we can't just put him on the ship anyways. We got to now put this jerk of a doctor on that just wants to go home to have sex with his wife.
Yeah, I just want to go home, fuck my wife.
and he causes all sorts of problems on the AAB Gamma.
Yeah, he's just not being a happy camper.
What happens is they come across Grandma's flying pie, which is a UFO. And
you kept saying that, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then like, oh.
It looks like an omelet. I think they call it an omelet in the movie.
Yeah. It looks like a literal like tinfoil pie tray. I would just go to the store to buy to make a pie. Yeah, it really was just that.
Yeah. and so they need fuel now. So what do? They contact the moon base. And the moon base has to send them nuclear fuel. I'm just picturing the people at ground control be like, you guys were just fucking here.
Well, you gotta understand, it's pretty established in this movie that space travel is fucking easy. They have a map, Adam. They have a map of space. Man, space ain't that big.
I just wanted to see a little disclaimer in the upper right-hand corner of that map that says map not to scale.
Oh, wait, also fucking, I know we're still kind of talking about them, but I don't want to just branch off briefly because we're talking about maps of all things right now. The map where they're tracking Guilala's path, how they have a custom-made Guilala sticker to place where he's gone.
Oh, yeah!
It's in the shape of Guilala. How did you get this made so quick?
Magic. We were ready
Space
for this.
creatures.
They also say that his footprint looks like a chicken print, and it looks nothing like a chicken print.
No. His head looks more chicken.
He looks kind of like a chicken, yeah. We haven't even... Let's not talk about him yet.
Okay, I'm sorry. My bad.
But I remember when the monster starts attacking, I remember looking over, I was chuckling again. Because I knew it was coming. And this is one of those movies that I watched so much as a kid, like I know it shot for shot, line for line. Just about. Yeah. Like I just loved this movie as a kid. For ironic reasons, by the way. I just thought it was so bizarre and so weird that I'm like, this is art. And so we got to figure out how to find Gilalalanium and have it stop Guilala. So what have we got to do? We're gonna go back to the moon, of course.
Go back to the moon, baby. We're wasting fuel as if it costs a fucking penny a gallon.
And okay, so they...
Is this defeating you right now?
It's the X from outer space, ladies and gentlemen.
Someone tunes into this stream and they're like, "Oh, finally, someone's gonna talk about the X from outer space," and it's just us fucking choking on our own fucking saliva because they're just fucking like laughing and goofing on this movie.
I just can't get over how utterly incompetent
go into their competency?
Everyone in this movie is the most
Oh,
incompetent human being.
You want to go into that? Fine, I'll go into that. Fuck it. So, Adam, you're an astronaut, and something is latched. A spore is latched onto your plane. Your ship. I'm sorry.
This UFO just splooged all over your ship.
Yeah. So you get a sample of it, and you encase it, and you go back down, and that's like, you guys fucking did it. You fucking killed it. They're all standing there proud, all pompous in the middle of their fucking laboratory with the thing in the tube. No one watching it. So what do? You might have discovered a new creature. You're like, what do you do with that?
Well, as a scientist,
yeah,
my natural inclination is to get shit-faced.
Oh, yes, thank you. Oh, God. Just completely leave it in the room by itself.
Lucas, you gotta establish something here. They didn't just choose to drink cocktails and champagne after finding the UFO, after completely failing their mission in every way, shape, and form. But on the moon, they decided to do the same damn thing. Like, oh my God, my doctor's sick. Maybe you guys should look at him. Is he okay? No, let's just drink some shit.
No, it's a fucking frat party.
It's a frat party. And then it's like they have important. Okay, so there is this one girl. I want to mention this. There's a love triangle in this movie, apparently.
Oh God! Don't. Oh, I was gonna wait to talk about that.
Okay, we'll wait. But I was just gonna mention how she's so pissed at Captain Sano for even remotely showing interest in the blonde girl.
Yeah.
That they have important information to relay to the ship that it's coming in too fast. It needs to slow down. And she says, you can tell him yourself.
Truly, priorities are in order with this crew.
The professionalism of this goddamn moon base is through the roof.
This is like I go, I'm looking for a job, and I see this is what I'm giving it as an example to. That's the one. That's the one, baby.
That's it.
Oh, man. It's just like, doubling back. I'm sorry, doubling back to them bringing the spore that makes Guilala. They just fucking leave it alone. They just leave it in the middle of their fucking laboratory to go fucking drink and get shit-faced. And no shit, it broke out.
I remember laughing so hard because of the hard cut in the movie. Yeah. It goes in on the egg and it's blinking. Hard cuts, glass of champagne.
Yeah, it's like you said. What are they celebrating? They didn't complete their mission.
They failed miserably at their mission.
They just brought back something that could infect the entire human race, cause a virus we can't heal, and everyone dies, Or in this case, it was Guilala. It becomes a kaiju. It happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Common misconception.
Oh, and I love the fact that it eats a hole through their spaceship, and his butt fixes the day. It fixes the hole just long enough.
And I remember I joked about, because I was like, Adam, is this gonna be like the newborn from Alien Resurrection, where he gets sucked out of his fucking ass through the fucking hole?
This movie would have been amazing if that's what happened. But
that being said, though, I'm not a fan of Alien Resurrection. I just want that on record.
No.
Not a fan.
No. My midsection hurts because of how hard I was laughing at trying to dissect this movie. Just the level of incompetence throughout the entire film. And the first half of this movie, I think they say AAB Gamma so many times. It's this movie's a disaster. And
Can I say something real quick, Adam? Because I just noticed in the chat on YouTube, Martin Caspery Smith, there was a Space Amoeba panel at this year's G-Fest, and they didn't even talk about the film that much.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, that's too bad.
He just said that in the chat.
Because I was paying attention to what the panels were. Nothing really interesting caught me.
Yeah.
But man, if I hosted a Space Amoeba panel, I'd have a glass of wine on the table with me.
you're like full suit attire. Like you're
Yeah.
like you're about to like,
Professional, yeah.
do like a big presentation, and it's like you're like ready.
Yeah, I'm ready for this. And I would treat the X from outer space the same way.
It's completely straight. People are like trying to clap. It's like, yeah, so Guilala, and so yeah, Guilala. No, none of that. No.
No. I'm a respectable film historian.
No, none of
I
that.
am a Guilala expert. You must treat me with respect. Can I just say this?
What's up?
One of the special features on the ADV premium edition of the Evangelion series, there's an extra where it talks about the lore of Evangelion.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
the other person, one of the two people that is interviewed in that, his subtitle is Evangelion expert. How do I get that job?
Yo, fuck yeah, I agree with you on that.
I want
That'd be
that job.
sick.
Probably the same way these astronauts got to become astronauts.
Bro, imagine like you're making a new resume and you get to put that on your
Evangelion
resume.
expert? Hell yeah.
Evangelion expert. Fuck
That's
yeah.
how you do it.
Oh my god.
So the X from outer space is
The X from outer space is
wonderful.
Is a sci-fi movie.
Do you agree that it feels like two movies just smashed
Yes.
together?
Yes. I think it becomes a completely different movie when Guilala gets into
Yeah, 100%.
Completely.
Other than the moon base. The moon base ties it all together.
Yeah.
It's a funnier character than
all
most.
the space stuff is very like space opera and very kind of that stuff. It felt like something you would see as like an example of like really like I might be using the wrong term here, like golden age sci-fi art where it's like the sci-fi. I think I mentioned this too, like art of like where it's like these designs just make no sense. They're just really like high fantasy.
Ray gun
sci-fi.
gothic.
Yeah.
They look very Ray gun gothic.
Feels very much like that, and I actually did like that about it. Like as much as we're doing, I like that about it. I thought that was really cool, like visually.
I thought the design of the AAB Gamma looked cool. Yeah.
I give it. I'm also just a sucker for like really kind of fantasy sci-fi stuff like that, where it's just like it does. I like highly detailed sci-fi stuff too, where you can tell like, oh, these ports are like exhaust ports. But I really also just like it's like, look at this ray gun that has like fucking 3 prongs coming off of it. No idea what it does.
Yeah.
You know, like it's.
Oh, that's one of my favorite fake science things in the entire film is when they're taking a bath together. 2 men are taking a bath together. And one of them goes, "Wow, I haven't taken a hot bath forever." By the way, they're naked sitting next to each other in this thing.
Good for them.
Rather progressive movie, really.
Yeah.
And the Captain Sano, goes, "It's not real water." What do you mean? It's artificial water.
I forgot about that line.
There's no water on the moon. It's artificial water. How do you make artificial water? You put 2 hydrogens and 2 oxygens in there? Then you just made water. I don't know why that made me laugh so hard, but it did.
Artificial water.
It's artificial water.
Is that what like thick water is?
I still think the most apt description of thick water is if we tried to describe water to an alien. That's what he would come up with, like the thick apple juice.
Yeah.
Like if we tried to describe apple juice to an alien, he would probably come up with that. It's off. Oh shit!
Oh my
man. Oh God, this movie is wonderful.
Hold on, I need a sip of my artificial moon water. 1 second.
Poland Springs gets their water from the moon. Oh yeah, and the apples grow gigantic, but they're bland because there's no atmosphere.
Oh yeah.
Stuff like that, which also doesn't make any sense. Like instead of prioritizing, maybe we should go to Mars, they decide to go moonwalking.
Yeah.
Instead. I baffled by this movie.
But yeah, it's just like I was saying before, like it really does feel like 2 different movies, because once Guilala gets introduced, it becomes your kind of typical like kaiju affair, but they still need to keep like that whole space opera kind of theming with
kind
it
of theme
too.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah, got to keep that going on, which is what leads into what I was explaining before, the scene where it's Guilala, Earth base, moon stuff, for like 20
20
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it goes on. Like I'm not even like, I enjoy the Guilala stuff, but like, it's like 20 minutes of that 1, 2, 3 over and over again.
And
It's
you're absolutely correct. And to give some background, apparently Guilala was named and designed by a kid. They held the competition.
yeah, and I remember you told me that, and I was like, yeah, I can
And
see
I
it.
have a feeling that what happened was they had a space opera idea, kind of fell through. Now we've got this giant monster thing. Let's just reuse some of the ideas from that
Yeah,
space
yeah.
opera and use it within the X from Outer Space as a story as a whole. Because it
Yeah,
really does feel like two films mixed into one.
that lines up to me too, honestly. It does sound
Mhm.
like it was like they had one thing they couldn't really make it to fruition, so it was like, okay, let's have this with it too, so we can kind of make something out of
Yeah,
it.
we can make something out of it. And they did.
Hey, in their defense, I remember you told me you did well. Like,
This movie did well.
yeah, it did
Yeah,
well.
it's a big cult classic. Yeah.
Yeah.
It did really well on home video. This was one of the films that got released by like Orion VHS, was the X from Outer Space, and it was quite popular. This and Yongari, Monster from the Deep, and they always played it in a double feature on old Showtime.
Mhm.
Old Showtime. In fact, that's how I first watched it. I was asleep, and my parents were laughing, and that caught my attention. So I got up, got kind of dressed, and walked out and said, "What are you guys laughing at?" It was this. It was the X from Outer Space. And they were laughing at it, and boy, was I intrigued as a kid by this movie. And then in 8th grade was when it premiered on TCM, and I watched it, and I was like, wow, this movie is a steaming hot pile of garbage, and it is beautiful. It is so eloquent in how terrible it is. And I think Robert Osborne was right. And we haven't even talked about the monster yet.
No, he needs his own
Well,
segment.
do you want to talk about this amazing love triangle?
Yeah, let's go into that real quick, because you say this amazing love triangle, and like I was like shell shocked at the end when that was even a thing, because it's like they're all, Guilala is taken care of, they're all like on a cliff,
Mm-hmm.
and the one girl and the one guy
Mm-hmm.
go off, and the one guy's like, "You loved him, didn't you?" What? I was sidelined by it. I really didn't even see that at all in the movie prior. I didn't take that at all.
Well, what is the relationship between her and that other guy?
I don't know.
Is that her father? What is that? Her
Yeah.
brother? Is that her uncle? Who the
Yeah,
fuck?
it's like,
What? What is this?
Is that, and like I know there was like this stuff like on the moon base with the two girls, but at the same time, that didn't feel like that to me. It just felt like two people interacting with one another. It didn't feel like there was anything more besides that.
Michiko, the Japanese girl that does end up getting with Captain Sano and Anne, the most spiteful bitch in the film. Because like here's literally what she does. Okay, so Lisa is very happy to see her. They're apparently friends before.
Yeah.
And Lisa's the blonde chick, the Caucasian lady.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
she
yeah.
goes, "It's so good to see you. It's so good to see you. Hey, how you doing?" And Michiko does this. And just
Yeah,
goes
it's-
back to typing. And I'm like, what justification do we have for that? And the ending, it's so ham-fisted. She goes, "I think the monster taught me that."
Yeah.
How?
How?
How? Explain that, please.
Please, can I have a little more
Context?
about that? No, just boo-hoo, I'm
And then
sad.
it ends admittedly with a lovely little ballad. I think the end ballad is actually
I'll
a
give
very
it that.
lovely
Yeah,
song.
Totally.
The opening credits song, not so much. I love right from the opening when you heard the song, you were laughing.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
it's-
you're about to hear the greatest thing.
Because it literally the track sounded exactly what I envisioned in my head. I'm just like, yep, this would be the music. This would be the music for this movie.
It was 100%.
And it was great. It was great.
Well, the soundtrack for this movie in general is
Yeah, it's good. Like,
well, I don't think it's good at all. I think it's good in how it does not fit the movie at all.
yeah, I fired that off.
It is jazz.
Yeah.
It is jazz, and to please Antonio,
Say the one, Adam.
all right. Cheesy, rich in comic non sequiturs, and scored with an unpredictable mishmash of 1960s pop and bossa nova.
Bossa Nova. Oh my god.
Very true. And I literally think Guilala's theme itself is just 2 notes. Over and 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 over again. What a score. In fact, I think it's the greatest soundtrack of all time, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, puts like Lord of the Rings to shame. Any of the tracks in that movie.
Yeah, you think of like the greatest scores of all time, right? And you're like, Lord of the Rings, the Batman theme,
the fucking the Empire March from Star Wars. Fucking
have you heard?
Child's Play.
Have you heard the soundtrack for the X from Outer Space?
Changes your fucking life.
Changes your life.
It really makes you wonder have I truly experienced music before listening to this soundtrack? Did I know what music was before this soundtrack?
No.
Oh, thank you.
No, you did not. Not until you see the X from Outer Space.
I did I know you said it wasn't like you found. I did actually like the soundtrack to this movie.
I do too. Like in a weird way, I do. Like like even Guilala's theme. I'm just kind of like, it's weird. It's like the drums, freestyle drums, and everything like that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just remember, dude, and we could use this as a transition into the monster, but there was one point where I was just dying, where it's like it cuts to the monster walking forward, and his roar just goes
it's like that.
Walks, and I fucking lost it. Like he's got to hawk up a hairball. This movie. So, Lucas, I remember when you first saw it, because I think I showed you the monster before at school.
I think.
And I'm like.
No, you didn't show me it. No, seeing Guilala for the first time was when we watched it.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah, it was.
I know I've mentioned this movie to you before, though. Like,
you've definitely mentioned it to me, but really, it permeated my brain with this viewing. Like, that's where I really, it was retained that this is Guilala. Guilala is from the X from Outer Space. And
it's amazing. Well, I remember you saw him on the main menu, and you're like, I love it.
I do. I genuinely do.
I do too. It's so crazy. It makes no sense.
Weird. He's a little weird. I can't front. Like, the way he has fucking dummy thick hips is weird. His chest is a spine that's not really the Gigan thing, but it kind of just comes out a little bit.
Yeah.
And he's kind of misshapen. He looks like he's a little he got some Popeye arm, except instead of having the buff forearm, it's the fucking upper part.
He's got pinchers on his tail that everybody forgets that he has.
Yeah. You had to point that out to me. I didn't even notice.
Why didn't they use them? That would have been cool. He picks up a boat with his tail and he swings it. That'd been cool.
And to me, I think though the highlight of Guilala and the reason he works so well for me is the head, because the head is such sci-fi nonsense. He's got big red bug eyes. He's got the Party City antennas. On top of that, his head is shaped it almost looks like a fucking spaceship. And he has a bird beak. This is everything you could love.
Oh, you forgot the tuba on the top of his head too. He's got a little horn.
Oh, you're right.
It literally looks like an instrument.
Yeah, it's how can I dislike this?
How can you dislike this? This thing is amazing.
He's great. He's silly. I love him.
He's beautiful. He's beautiful. He's unique.
I agree.
You don't forget him.
No.
I've seen
Like,
plenty of giant monster movies where you forget the design of the monster after you're done watching it. Guilala has always stayed there.
Yeah, everyone
Always.
has always criticized, like MonsterVerse for like the Mudos and like the monsters introduced in like King of the Monsters. No, I remember Guilala. I remember him.
No, I remember Guilala. I remember him. I like the X from Outer Space better than Space Amoeba. We'll get to our final summations.
Yeah, I was gonna wait on. I did see his comment too. I was gonna wait on saying something about it towards the end because I do have a point to make.
His head is shaped like the planet Saturn.
Is it?
I can't see that.
Hold on, I'm pulling up a picture
I'm
now.
pulling it up too.
Hold on.
I can see it. I disagree, but I can see where you're coming from. I really can. He's so cute.
I can see it too. I get it. I can see it too. The only thing that kind of takes me away from that is the back part.
Yes.
Where it's like the back part kind of makes it not look like that, but like I get where you're coming from with that too. Oh, I forgot about his fingers. He has like little fucking red nails.
Fingies.
He's got little red fucking nails. He got his fucking nails
He spits a fireball. He turns into a fireball.
This guy's great.
He's wonderful. His roar is the greatest monster roar of all time.
You know, we were talking about scary like monster roars before we started streaming, and like I would find Guilala scary, but I remember it.
You remember it.
I remember it. Yeah, I do. I don't really remember any of the like roars from Space Amoeba besides like Gazora's being kind of like or some shit. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I understand. But Guilala, oh boy, do you remember the fuck out of it? Like, here's the thing with the X from Outer Space and why, and one reason why I genuinely love it. And not just because it's so bad. You know, I genuinely love this movie, and it's because I can never forget it. Like, it is so bizarre, and only in Japan could such an audacious film be made.
Yeah.
Where it's just so non-compromising on its ridiculousness. And it never stops from beginning to end.
Non-compromising is a good phrase for this movie. Non-compromising is a great phrase for this movie because that's my thing about this movie too. Is that like, yeah, it's not a great movie. I don't think it's a good movie. However, I like it.
Yeah,
I do. I like it.
I'm going to be on my deathbed. I'm literally going to have Alzheimer's and I'm going to forget everything else. I will remember Guilala.
It's like, yeah, this movie's not great. It's not a great movie, and there's baffling choices, absolutely baffling choices in storytelling. Hey, I had fun. Like, this was a fun one.
This was a lot of fun. Yeah, like, and I gotta tell you, like, again, this is a movie that I've seen so much that, like, I almost know every line. I know almost every shot. Every weird fuck up that happens in the movie, I've noticed.
I really can understand why this movie did well too. Like I can see it.
What a treat.
Yeah, and like I'm thinking about again the scene of the plane hitting Guilala and it doesn't explode. Boom! Just bonks off of him.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
And you know. Not many movies make me laugh that hard. Truly. Not many movies can I sit down and say, yo, and be like almost out of breath by the end of it. Just because of how much I'm giggling and laughing throughout the whole thing. I recommend this movie to anyone.
I do too.
Like, I go, you got to see it to believe it.
I do too.
It's so
Especially
weird.
Anyone who likes sci-fi, I just recommend it because I think it's fun. I think it's a fun example of
pinnacle
campy
60s sci-fi.
Yeah. Like, it's not a great movie. It's not. No. But it's fun, and I don't like. I feel like you won't regret watching it. It's just like
There's a lot of people who say this movie's boring.
I cannot agree with
I
that.
cannot
Like,
agree because
I
I
can't.
go, I don't think this movie's boring at all because it's so. The characters alone being so incompetent and literally everything they do makes this movie worth it to me.
There's just so much going on in general, both like with the characters, the music, the visuals. It's like there's so much actually going on here that's like, I can't find it boring.
No, I can't find it boring.
Like and it has moments of it has little sparks where it's like, that was cool. Like there was that one overhead shot, remember in the base where it's like
it was one
pan?
long shot.
That's
it was a crane shot. Yeah, it looked great.
Shot. Like
there's even some shots of like Guilala approaching the main base, the space station, that look great and kind of menacing.
Yeah, totally.
Like when she gets trapped underneath the boiler.
Yeah.
And you see the monster slowly approaching, and I'm like, that's kind of terrifying. I wish that was throughout the entire film, but another part of me is like, I'm glad it wasn't because we got this.
Yeah. And it made it a little more special when that kind of stuff showed up. Like that scene specifically, it reminded me of oh, here we go, talking about Cloverfield again.
I can see that.
The scene,
the
scene, specifically the scene in Cloverfield after they pull Beth off when she's impaled by the spike. It's like, all right, everyone's focusing. Right in the background, monsters walking towards the building. I'm like, oh fucking shit! Like, I love
that.
Movie, first of all.
Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, 100% a reference to the X from outer space because, of course, it was.
Oh, and actually, I was gonna say that jokingly, but I'm like, it
very
really
well could be.
Have been. Like,
because the amount of obscure references that are in that movie already.
Yeah. Do I deep down really think it was? Probably not.
It would be great if it was.
If they revealed out of nowhere, but if out of nowhere they revealed like, oh yeah, this is actually a very cold cut reference to that movie, I would also believe it. I'd be like, yeah, I get it. Like, but I don't. Nah. But
I'm trying to remember what the frames were in the film.
Of Guilala?
Yeah, well, they flash monsters. Okay, no, the movie, the monsters that flash are King Kong, the giant ant from them, and the Rhedosaurus from 20 million, or 20...
Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. Yeah, I could have told you that, because I literally, when I discovered that as a kid, I like painstakingly on my own accord tried to stop it to see them on my own accord, and I did it for all three of them. I got the them one the first time, too.
I never noticed them until somebody pointed it out.
No, that's what I'm saying is I didn't notice them until I was told about it, and then on my own accord, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna try and get those on my and pause them." Like I was playing on my Xbox or something, and I got them. It was fun.
Well, I remember on my PlayStation 2, I could fast forward frame by frame.
Yeah.
And I can't do that now on like anything else, which upsets me. But I used to be able to do that a lot with DVDs, and I did. But no, I would have. That would have been hysterical if one of them was Guilala. If one of them had been Guilala, I would have 100% been like, yep, it was definitely a reference to the X from outer space because they put in that.
Yeah. I'll say this here. I'll put my stake down here. If I ever am in a timeline where I make a kaiju film, I will do an X from outer space reference somehow. I don't know how.
Somehow we have to.
Somehow we'll make it happen.
You can even just have the song on in the background on a radio or some shit.
It can't be like someone in the movie being like, "You ever see the X from outer space with Guilala?" No, it has to be a cold cut that it's like no one will get this unless
no one will get this. 100%.
Just like the music playing on the radio, something like that.
Something like that. He's reading a book and it's the poster of the fucking movie in the background or a poster on the wall in the background or something.
Yeah, exactly.
We need more Guilala references in our movies.
I agree.
He's the most cute thing. He's so ugly, he's cute.
I don't even think he's ugly. I just think he's actually cute. Like it's.
Is the X from outer space on Blu-ray or DVD? Not anymore. Criterion did release it. It was on... actually, I kind of want to get into this for a second. They released it as a part of the Eclipse series. However, its matte is not correct. It's slightly too wide, so you often see the edges of matte paintings, and you also often see the lines where they animated like lasers and stuff like that. So the DVD, which is what we watched, which to me added to my enjoyment, that we watched for our viewing is from the Eclipse version. There is, however, an HD restoration that has not been released here. You can find that at certain places. You can certainly find it. However, I would recommend trying to seek it out legally as best as you possibly can. Since having seen it on the DVD, I have gotten my hands on the HD restoration, and it is very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It looks a lot better than the DVD. It really does. But the DVD suffers from bad matte problems.
Yeah, yeah. I remember you pointed that out to me when we watched.
Yeah, bad matte issues. Yeah. That's about it. That's how you can find it. Criterion, I think you can still get it from Criterion.
Can you? If that's the case, I'll gladly pick that up just so I can say I have the Criterion release of the Extra from Outer Space.
I think it is still available. You have to buy it with the 3 other movies.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I recommend those other movies too.
Yeah,
I actually want to say I think I've done the only review on YouTube for Gok Body Snatcher from Hell. I think which is probably why it did decently well. But I think I'm the only person to review it on YouTube. Because you type in the movie, and I'm the only video analyzing it.
That's crazy.
And space vaginas.
Oh.
Or vaginas on foreheads.
Oh, it's that one. You were telling me about that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. What a bizarre movie. All of the movies on that set are bizarre in their own ways. The only one that I can say is like 100% like that was good. Like that had my interest throughout the whole thing. I wasn't laughing at it. I was curious about where it was going. Was I believe The Lost Skeleton?
Yeah, you were telling me about that one, I think.
The Living Skeleton.
Oh.
That's it. A very good movie. It opens with a fucking... Oh, there I cursed again. It opens with a massacre on a ship. Like, they just get machine gunned down. And I'm like, well, that's an opening. But no, it's a surprisingly good movie. Very well shot. Decent story, too. It's got a good mystery to it. All the other movies are just crazy. And you will laugh. But yeah, wow.
Oh man,
I just feel like I got like laid.
Oh my god, Adam.
It's oh my god. It's like after you watch the Extra from Outer Space, you just fall back and you make go, wow. All right. Well, Lucas, do you have anything else you want to say about the Extra from Outer Space before we kind of wrap it up with our thoughts on it?
Well, so I will mention because Varzilla said that he likes the Extra from Outer Space more than Space Amoeba, and I think I would say I do too. I totally do too. Like I had way more. It's because especially I can contrast it because we watched them the same night. Space Amoeba was fun. Don't get me wrong. Extra from Outer Space upped the game. And it was a steep jump. It was like, okay, so this is where it was originally. Hold on, I'm trying to make sure my fucking hand is in frame. Jesus Christ. Right here. Okay. This is where Space Amoeba was, good time. So, and then here's where the gap went.
You took off. It took off like the AAB Gamma,
Yeah.
Martin, thank you for reminding me. I should have known that, actually. It is available on HBO Max. You can watch The Extra from Outer Space on HBO Max.
That's fucking crazy.
Yes, because I think they have something with Criterion, where a couple of their catalog is in there, because a lot of Godzilla movies are on HBO Max.
Yeah, that makes more
sense. And I remember
now.
seeing The Extra from Outer Space, and I was like, what? It's not in HD, though. It's not in HD. However, I do think it is better quality than the DVD, because I think this version at least has the matte correct.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're totally right about lifting the bar. You know, like James Cameron going down to the bottom of the ocean on South Park to raise the bar.
His name is James Cameron.
His name is
bravest
Guilala.
Explorer of the sea, with a dying thirst to be the first. Could it be? Yeah, it's him, James Cameron. I love that episode.
Guilalanium.
Oh, we didn't talk about how Guilala gets cummed on. There you go. I was waiting for that. Yeah, so they need the Guilala-anium. And all it is, it just puts white goo over Guilala.
Well, no, it's coming from his body. Like he starts,
right,
it's like it starts
yeah.
reverting him back to his normal state because it's hinted at in the movie.
He looks like he's covered in sludge.
Yes, in foam
or in other
Cool Whip.
fluids.
I thought he always looked like he was covered in whipped cream.
Yeah,
that might have been what they used.
Nah, I was just being crude personally, but yeah, I get where you're coming from.
However, I love how
cream.
None of our heroes do anything.
Oh,
it was just random fighter pilots.
Yeah, they didn't really do shit.
Like, one of them's a pilot of the AAB Gamma. What if he got into a jet? You know? Like in Godzilla Raids Again, where despite the fact that they were just shit-faced on Saki, they decided to get in their jets to try to kill Godzilla. In the previous scene, Like in the previous scene, they're all drunk on sake, barely able to say the lines of the song, and then all of a sudden here Godzilla showed up, and they're like, "Get to the planes!" But at least in that, like, it establishes that your main character, he was in a plane. He flew planes. He was on the scouting missions. He looked for tuna.
Yeah.
So he knows how to fly a plane and does it very well. Thus, he gets into a jet at the end of the movie, and he helps bring down Godzilla. Not in this.
Nah. He's not paid enough.
He ain't paid enough for this shit. Well, I just can't get over the fact that their entire mission was to go to Mars, and they failed miserably.
And they were rewarded
for it.
Good job, little Billy. You got an F on your test.
Oh, wow. What a movie. What a movie.
Damn.
I have so much fun watching. I love introducing this movie to new people. I really do. And especially, I will be fully honest, Lucas, watching it with you was a total treat. Because it's just the energy in the room that is totally contagious, which is partially why I'll never fully get over movie theaters, is because sometimes that affects that as well.
I'm with you on that too. I've always felt like that with movie theaters too. I've never been like a person who's like, I want movie theaters to die, because I do prefer just going to a movie theater to see a new release. Just naturally is what it is. But like, obviously, you got to deal with external stuff of like,
we got to do a petition.
People being assholes.
Yes.
Maybe the screen sucks. Maybe the sound's bad. Like,
there's definitely a lot. I want to have a Fathom event where we screen the X from outer space. Fathom Events present the X from outer space. Please.
Get their email. We have a job. We have to meme this into reality.
We have to meme this into reality.
Dear Fathom Events, it is of the utmost importance of you.
You are missing a financial opportunity
to get people to see the cinematic masterpiece, The X from Outer Space.
They take one look at the clip online and go, yes.
They're like crying in their offices like, how have we not done it sooner?
I wish that was reality. Oh, man. It would be so much fun. But yeah, I love the movie. I genuinely love this movie.
Me too. I do. It's a fun one.
It is a lot better than Space Amoeba.
Yes.
A lot better. I could watch The X from Outer Space on my own and enjoy it, because
I think I could. Yeah.
It's just so silly.
Do either one of you have the Guilala X Plus figure? Did you see the remake? I need to now look into seeing how much the Xbox Guilala figure is, but it's probably expensive because it's X Plus. But also, what does he mean by the
Oh,
remake? What?
it's pretty.
Yeah, I mean, but it's also an X Plus, so that's probably
It's
expensive. That's
pretty.
probably like, yeah. Hold on, I gotta the figure guy has to investigate really quick.
You have to
Hold
get it.
on,
You
bro.
have to get this. If you got this, I would ship bricks.
Hold on, hold on. I now a lot of pressure is being put on me now.
Oh my god, the old vinyl is $1,000.
Bro, the only listing I'm seeing on eBay is like $800.
Why is it so expensive?
It's X Plus. X Plus is a really it probably is also out of print.
Yeah.
X Plus is a really highly regarded figure company. Oh, he doesn't even have the fucking wonky antennas. What?
Oh, he does?
No, I don't see it
I
on this
see
one
him
at
on
least.
mine.
Oh, my bad. But like, nah, it's because X Plus is a really high production company, and once their figures go out of print, they're like out of print. So unfortunately, X Plus Guilala, unless they out of nowhere re-release it, it's just not on the cards. I'm sorry.
Well, what about the remake? It wasn't remade. There was a sequel.
Oh, is that what he's talking about? Because yeah,
Or is he
that, I'm
talking
not
about a
really sure.
remake of the X Plus one?
You mean I don't even know because I feel like he might be talking about
The
um
Monster X Strikes Back or whatever?
he mentioned before is the Extra Outer Space on DVD or Blu-ray. I know the remake is I have
Yeah,
it.
I know. Well, it's not a remake, it's a sequel.
Yeah, he might
Monster
be
X Strikes
talking about that.
Back is on DVD. And it has
Yeah.
been far more readily available than that. I can't believe you have not seen the car commercial with it. Actually, I don't think
Oh.
it's a car commercial, but it's a commercial that has played on Western televisions, and I remember when it came out, and I'm like, that's Guilala! What a weird monster to pick.
They probably picked it because it was cheap.
No, I
To be
think
honest.
Shochiku produced it. I think that's
Oh,
why.
I'm
I think it
sorry.
was
My
made
bad.
as a tie-in with Monster X Strikes Back.
Okay, I see.
What was it? I'm gonna look it up. I gotta look it up because it's so cute. Like there's a bunch of little ones walking around, and then there's one
What? There's
big one.
tiny little ones.
Yes, and it's adorable.
The Xbox Guilala just continued. I hope they bring it back. Yeah, Monster X. Yeah, he's talking about Monster X Strike Back. He just said
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I love for them to re-release Xbox Guilala. If it's affordable, I will gladly invest in it.
I found it. I found the
Ooh.
commercial.
Can you bring it up on the screen?
Maybe. Give me.
In worst case, you could just send it to me.
Well,
but-
you have to hear it because they're
yeah.
cute. Like the baby Gilalas are cute.
Mm-hmm.
I just sent it. Plus, I don't know how
I wanna see it.
copyrighted it is.
Oh yeah, that's a good call. Let me see this. I'll watch this one on record really quick now.
But look at it. It's so cute.
Oh, look at him. That's him.
I remember hearing that. I remember seeing this. Literally seeing this on TV. I'm like, that's
Oh my
Guilala.
This is crazy. There's so many of them.
I love how he
They're like
spits
pigeons.
his little fireball.
Yeah.
I love how when the thing explodes, you can hear them coughing.
That is so fucking surreal.
Like, what a weird kaiju to choose. Like, that's why I said, like, this has to be a promotional tie-in. Because it's clearly Japanese made. This commercial is Japanese made. Because it's clearly got Japanese special effects, and it's got Guilala in it.
Yeah. That is fucking crazy.
I just love these little Gilalas. And he's trying to... The one that spits a fireball, it just goes... Ping!
You know, I think that's the same one too. The guy shoos away like it's a pigeon.
Yeah. Yeah, he shoots it away like a pigeon.
Life would be so much more interesting instead of pigeons. There were tiny Gilalas.
Gilalas all over the place. I'd love it. I'd want one.
And understand my wording though. Interesting. I wouldn't say it would be better. It would be interesting.
Interesting. So instead of you go to the park and you're feeding the doves, it's Guilalas.
Yeah, but like they're probably way more destructive. You saw them tearing apart that one car. They were failing at it, but they were doing a little bit of damage at least.
Well, so can pigeons. I mean, look at your car. They used to poop all over your car.
Why would you bring up my poop? Well, actually, that's not going to happen anymore because the tree that was in front of the house that would cause that, we actually had to get rid of because it was one, we wanted to get rid of it, and two, it actually was like with power lines. It was actually like,
that makes sense.
Yeah, we should get rid of it. We should get rid of it. It's like way interfering with two different power lines. But that luckily that won't happen.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so
I just remember seeing that and I was laughing.
Yeah, for the viewers at home, there was a period in life, usually around like summertime, where my car would just get totaled by bird shit because there was this one tree that I would always have to park under because no one else would park under it for that exact reason. But like then I'd be parking in front of other people's houses. I'm like, this is stupid. I'm not going to do that. And there was a bird. There were birds in that tree that just, they had to go. They had to go, man. And they did on my car.
It's like bird
Lucas, why don't you just wash your car? I'm not washing my car every fucking week.
That's yeah. I thought you were exaggerating.
No.
And no.
No.
But I'm like, look, if a dove can do that, Guilala can.
Guilala poo might be radioactive for all we know. I don't know.
I don't know.
What do Guilalas eat?
This is true. What do?
What would the Guilala eat?
According to the film, they were after energy. Because remember when he was after the radioactive thing, and they chased the car.
So that leads to another issue. That might cause a power crisis. Like if there's little Guilalas running around all of the fucking world, that might cause power issues. That's why I'm saying it wouldn't be better.
An infestation.
It would
we
be
should
interesting.
totally make that into a movie where instead of the kaijus being big, they're just like really small, and it's just kind of annoying. I love that idea where there's all these kaijus running around, but they're just really small and kind of annoying.
They're just like...
They're like raccoons. Like, we treat them like raccoons. And possums. I'll say possums,
honey,
too.
Honey, the fucking monster's in the trash again.
Guilala's here. We got a Guilala.
Oh, God, give me the broom.
We get sick of saying Guilala, so we just start calling them GGs for no reason at all.
Just... Scat, get out of here.
It goes... And then like it turns into like that little fireball to fly away. When they get scared, that's what they do.
Yeah.
This is a wonderful idea. This is a wonderful idea.
Pleasant.
They're just kind of annoying.
Pleasant.
You know, they're not like total annoying, but just kind of.
Yeah, they're just kind of there.
Yeah. I love this idea. This is art.
Like I said, it would be interesting. Not necessarily better. It would be interesting. It would entertain me. Is what it would do.
Well, you like your possums, so I'd imagine you'd love your Guilalas.
This is correct. I do like possums. That is.
I think Guilala would just have the personality of a possum, really. They kind of just hiss at you.
You grab it by the tail, and it's just doing like the possum thing, where it just has its mouth open. It's not hissing. It just has its mouth open to try to be threatening, but it's like not threatening at all.
It's not threatening at all. You love possums.
I do. They're cute. I don't. Fuck yeah. I'll say it. Possums are cute.
They terrify me. They do. I prefer raccoons.
I mean, I think raccoons are cute too. But if I would rather be stuck with one or the other, I would rather be stuck with a possum.
Why?
Because raccoons can actually get violent, dude. Are you kidding me?
So can a possum.
I've never seen a violent possum before.
I've never seen a violent possum before.
No, the whole thing is possums play possum.
They do, yeah. They're played by Bill Shatner.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what movie they were played in?
Over the Hedge.
Yeah, Over the Hedge, the fucking classic.
I know what you're talking about.
Good, I'm glad.
Fucking, like, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
One.
Yeah, but I see. I took it more as like it's like they're playing possum. And he fucking the real ass possum unzips and it's fucking Bill Shatner.
It's Bill Shatner.
Like, oh God, he's back.
Dozens
again.
of Bill Shatners. I just love that though. I just want to see like dozens of, not all Guilalas, They're just
Yeah, there's a mixture.
small kaijus walking around all over the place. Like, just imagine like a small. I don't know, like Gauss. Like you have a bunch of small Gauss, like really small Gauss that are no more annoying than just freaking bats.
They're sitting on like power lines, just like kind of like like birds would just chill on a power line or something. Like,
and I'm thinking the same with like, just obscure.
There's like Amanda's. You like go to a fucking like
little snakes. Yeah, they like getting underneath. They like getting into your wood pile because it's warm.
Yeah,
you go like open it. It's like Amanda starts hissing at you. Gorosaurus just chills around.
Yeah.
He prefers the desert. But you can sometimes find them up north if you look under a rock. They like to hide under there just because it's warm.
I was gonna say like Kamunga, but then I realized we have tiny Kamungas already. They're called spiders.
What's another one?
Thinking.
No, we treat
tiny Baragons. Oh fuck!
Baby Baragons.
Fuck yeah, that's what I would want. Tiny little Baragons.
I would love an army of small, like really tiny Kamada-kuns.
Oh my god. Yeah.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
Somebody made this video where it was I'm on my way from I think it's Annie from Annie.
Yeah.
And it's just Kamada-kun going down the highway, and I'm like, this is unintentionally adorable.
Is it the exact scene from Shin Godzilla?
Yes.
Or is it
Yeah. Like he added in sound effects to make sure the footprints were there and like people screaming and yelling while that song is playing. And funny. It's genius. And I think I commented on it. I was like, this is 100% exactly what I thought it was going to be. Thank you. It was like this video I saw where it was, I think the exact title was Horse Runs, Kicks Dog, and Farts.
I know the video you're talking about.
And the most liked comment is, I saw the horse running, I saw it kick at the dog, and it farted. This is the A+ on the title.
Do you know what my favorite one is?
Sorry, 1 second. My headphones fell out. I got put back in.
No.
Sorry.
My favorite video in the vein of that, this is not even Kaiju related at this point, is there's a video called Dog versus Vuvuzela, Dog Wins.
I'm looking it up.
I'll find it for you, because I want you to watch it. Hold on.
Dog versus Vuvuzela.
Dog Wins, specifically. That's... first video.
Yes. All right.
Just watch it. You'll see how he wins. I'm watching it right now, too.
I love him. First off, adorable dog.
Yeah, very cute dog.
Oh, he pees!
It's just at the end when they realize it, like, no. I love that fucking
that's
video.
What you get. That's how you get.
He sure won. Like, can't argue with that. Like,
I couldn't even be mad at him.
No.
After that, I would have been laughing so hard, even if I was the one that had to clean it up.
He got you.
He got us. He won.
Dog versus dog wins. I love that video.
No.
I can't believe I got to talk about Dog versus Vuvuzela, Dog Wins on a Kaiju stream.
Okay, we've evolved to the next level of human evolution. I love how under my recommended videos, the next video up is a critique of the game Soma. Which, first off, I loved that game.
I actually know nothing about it. I've heard about it. I've heard it's pretty good.
That was the game I played with my friend Chucky, and then we were just going to play it for a bit, and then we wound up playing the whole game in one night.
Oh, sick. Yeah.
I just love how the dog wins.
It's such a good video.
Oh, no, stop it. Fuck!
I encourage everyone watching to check out Dog versus Vuvuzela. Dog wins.
Dog
You
wins.
won't regret it. Like, it's such a good video.
You know why the dog peed though? It was either excited or it was genuinely kind of getting scared. I beckon on excited because
I
the
think
way
excited.
how the dog's tail was wagging and jumping towards people.
Yeah, no, that didn't seem anything cruel.
No.
It seemed like the dog was just excited.
I love that so much. I can picture the dog. Ha ha, human.
The ace in my hole.
I kind of guessed that that's what was going to happen. Because I was like, I can't picture it grabbing the Vuvuzela and tearing it apart. It's going to be something else. It's gonna subvert my expectations.
Oh, it subverts all right.
The moment I saw him turn his back and start squatting, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That was great. But just imagine like a Guilala doing that. Like he's playing with it, you're blowing your Vuvuzela at him, right? And he's jumping back and forth, and all of a sudden he looks at you, and he just spits out that fireball, and it catches your carpet on fire. It's just annoying.
Yeah,
And it's not like a big fire. It's a fire like you run up to it, and you put your foot on it, and you can stamp it out.
Adam, that is what I'm saying. It wouldn't necessarily be good. It would be interesting.
Oh, shit. It's so beautiful.
Oh my god.
I love Guilala.
I do too.
He's so cute.
The national treasure.
He's a national treasure. He should have been the goddamn Japanese ambassador for tourism, not Godzilla.
Nah.
Guilala.
Yeah, like, it's pretty
Why
straightforward.
this kaiju doesn't have a 33 film career is beyond me.
Yeah, it's honestly kind of fucked up.
It really is. Justice for Guilala. I'm making that a hashtag. I'm going on Twitter. To Twitter, boys. Hashtag justice for Guilala. And I need to Photoshop him, like, behind bars for no reason at all.
Photoshop behind bars.
Justice
Hey, you
for
have to make-
Guilala.
You have to put a big vignette on it too.
Yes, 100%. Yes. You know what? I'm going to do it. Let me build the template. And I'm going to do it again. Let's see.
Ugh.
Justice for Guilala. Yeah, hold on. I have to make sure they can hear you too if you talk while I'm doing this.
Oh, you're gonna do it live?
Yeah, I'm going to do this live. You mean to tell me that you didn't want me to do it live?
No, I didn't know where you were going with it. I'll be honest with you.
I'm subverting everyone's expectations. Okay. All right, and away we go. All right, on today's Photoshop tutorial, we're gonna Photoshop Guilala behind bars.
This is what Photoshop was created for. So two little chuckle nuts can joke about Guilala and put him behind bars.
Behind bars. Yeah. Now we don't want this to be a full resolution thing, so I'm just gonna do a 1280 by 720.
It can't be too high quality.
No, it really shouldn't be. You see, you guys can now look at my Twitter feed without me worrying about you seeing porn, because I've totally got rid of all the porn on my Twitter page and made a separate account. So, so we gotta find a stock footage of a jail cell. So,
Yeah, you can find a PNG, so you don't have to like chroma key it out, or you don't have to like key it out or
well,
anything.
we need to get the background.
Oh, I see. All right, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Perfect.
All the shutter. Yes, do this fucking like with the Shutterstock stuff.
Perfect. Okay. And look, you see, I already have Guilala right there.
All right, we got Guilala,
Yeah.
so that's good.
Perfect. All right, this is art. Yes.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We got the fire right here.
Adam, don't even attempt to color correct it.
I was going to, and I'm just
No.
like, no, I can't do that.
Can I add a piece of an idea?
Yes. 100%.
Can you get like a PNG of a cartoon teardrop and put it right under his
Oh,
eye?
that's a wonderful idea.
see what we got
This is
here.
a wonderful idea. Yes, baby. Yes.
Which one do we want though? We have to find one that's transparent. Oh no, you
No,
probably
I can make this. I can.
Okay, okay. Find a good one.
No, this is perfect.
Oh yeah, it's
This is
great.
perfect.
There's no need. Perfect.
All right.
So we gotta use the
I've
magic
got
wand.
Oh, where did my tools go? Give me a second. Oh, I found them. They're on the opposite monitor for some reason.
Oh yeah, that happens with
There
the
we
art
go.
program I use. That happens all
There
the
we
fucking
go. This is art. What we're doing here. I feel like internet historian right now.
time.
Oh,
Oh,
it's big.
no, you're good. Just gotta resize it. That's all.
Lucas, it's big. I have an idea.
Now, are you gonna put additional bars in front of
Yes,
him? Or are you
yes,
just
I
gonna...
was. But hear me out.
Wait, what's your?
Hear me
Wait,
out.
what do you do?
Hear me out. He's lying on the couch. Hold on.
You gotta bring Guilala forward though.
No.
You're skewing the perspective too.
Yes. 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 We gotta do a little drop shadow.
Like, a little bit.
Just a little bit. There we go.
Adam, it looks real. It's like he's actually there.
Oh, I'm so glad I did this stream. I wasn't going to. This is very impromptu. I'm very glad that I'm doing this. I'm having so much fun right now. Okay.
I really love that the jail cell is like there's like the stock filter on it.
Yeah.
It really adds to it for me.
Perfect.
Now you gotta be careful. You gotta frame it properly so we don't like cut off too much of Guilala's like expressions and all that.
Oh, it's a virus. Okay.
Oh fuck.
Okay. Well,
How
try
how
this
are
one.
you able to tell?
That one worked. We're almost there.
See, this is where it's gonna get a little tricky because yeah, he's like being blocked there.
Yeah.
We have to frame this properly or make the bars bigger
No,
or something.
No, I'm just gonna reframe Guilala.
Oh, okay.
And now I'm gonna Comic Sans.
Yes. It has to be Comic Sans. It can't be any other.
Hashtag truth.
Oh, it's inverted.
No. Hashtag truth.
That's it. Just hashtag truth.
Hashtag truth.
Wait. Wait.
I gotta fix Gazora here for a second.
Yeah, he looks a little
He's a little off.
Well, it's accurate to his suit.
There we go. That's a little better. Yeah, there he goes. Perfect. And it looks like his tentacles falling off of the thing. Who the fuck is watching this stream? Okay.
Oh my god, what did I hop into?
What did you hop into?
Justice.
Truth.
I like that the hashtag is hashtag what is it? Something for Guilala. What was it again?
Justice for Guilala.
And it just says #truth on the image.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Art.
We're doing some important.
Yeah. You
some
see
important
Gazora
stuff
in the
here.
background. I don't know if you noticed him, but I fixed him, made his arm look like it's draping off the bed.
He's had a rough
He's
day.
a very rough day. Yeah. It's a very rough day.
This fucking image.
Justice. All right. Now we got to go to my twit.
Wait.
What?
I have one idea.
Okay. All right.
Bring the completed picture into Photoshop.
I like where this is going. Or I think I know where this is going, but yes, I will.
I want to try one thing, and I just want to see if it adds to it at all. I don't think it will, but I want to try this. Bring the completed picture in.
All right.
Desaturate it and make it black and white. It's just an idea. It might not work. How are we feeling about that?
I think I liked it better colored.
Yeah, yeah. It was just an idea.
Yeah, I think I like it better. Yes.
Yo, it's Star Wars now. The lightsaber prison. Whoa.
Justice.
It's just the picture's just getting worse.
I think that's why we love it. It just needs to be worse. Can you name the Tiny Guilala commercial? Because I'm interested in watching it. I think. Hold on.
You're not interested in us making this picture?
This is it. Right here. The Ladders Monsters. That's the name of the video. Right there. But anyways, back to modern art. Yeah, I think it's better just like that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it was just an idea. I just wanted to shoot.
Truth. This is an image.
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah. No. Now we got to go to Twit.
Nothing else. Adam, also, if anyone asks, do not explain it.
Well,
do not respond to it. Just let them be confused.
Well, I can also do it here.
Yes.
Create post.
Excellent.
It won't get the full impact because it's going to crop it.
I want to get the community.
You have to have 1,000 subscribers.
I know. I read into it and I was like, yeah, this sucks. But hopefully I'll get there someday.
I would like it very much if I could just copy these. Yes.
#truth.
Yes. Post. All right, now I got to go into my ANP group.
You're just putting it everywhere.
Of course I'm going to do that. I got to save it. I'll post it on my Instagram. #truth. Here we go. Look, I haven't been posting anywhere forever. This is the most I think I've done for this group in a long time.
Good, and everyone should be thankful.
They should be. Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
It won't let you.
Something went
Wait,
wrong.
something. They're trying to shut us down.
I knew they would. Total conspiracy.
I can't believe it. #truth. Y'all.
I don't know what just popped up.
I don't know what just
But
popped
I'm
up
okay
either.
with that. The anticipation. There we
Excellent.
go. And I'm gonna pin it. Oh shit! Can I? Come on.
You should be able to.
I don't know. Facebook made a bunch of changes, and I just don't understand anything anymore.
No. Where did it go?
Did I accidentally delete it?
You might have accidentally deleted it. Oh no, there it is. Thank God.
Hey, see, it won't let me pin it.
Edit. Maybe can you go to edit post and it'll let you? Oh, maybe because you're not. Are you not doing it as AN Productions?
I am doing it as AN Productions.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
Interestingly, it's not even showing my page, The Real Adam Noyce.
Interesting.
Yeah, like, I just have no idea. Oh, it's featured. Hold on. I have no idea how this works anymore. No. See, like, is The Real Adam Noyce not an admin? Yeah, then why can't I select it here? Oh, I think I know why. Hold on. Because for some reason it now made this page, right?
Yeah.
Like, now it's like just a regular Facebook page.
Okay.
Like I'm a person.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm confuzzled. There it is.
Excellent.
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 All according to plan.
All according to plan. Yes. And anybody watching, I want you to retweet it or start, or just a hashtag is fine. Justice for Guilala.
Yeah.
You know what? There we go. I made it official. I put it in the chat. Justice for Guilala. This is the greatest image. Like, I just love that I live in a time that this image can exist. I am so happy that I live in a time where this image can exist. Where else in the world would this have been made? Other than on an ANP stream. Well, we've been going for a little over 2.5 hours, Lucas. I think it's about time I start wrapping this up.
Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah, it's about that time.
We've set our pace. we've made our stance.
We've made our stance very well now.
We've started a revolution.
Thank you, Godzilla Kiru. Glad you tweeted. This Guilala needs justice. Hands down.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Give me 1 second before we do this. But, Lucas, do you have anything you want to anything you want to pimp out, Lucas? Anything you want to start pimping out?
Actually, I do, Adam, because I feel like this is the first time for realsies I can be like, hey, everyone, I have stuff now again. No, so I have gone into streaming on my own accord on PowPop.
Which is awesome, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I've just been playing games and stuff. Right now, I'm currently focusing on Digimon Survive, but I've also been playing. I'm going to start doing more episodes of Multiverses. I'll eventually get to Klonoa 2. I just finished the first Klonoa game. But there's a bunch of streams here if you guys want to watch. I got to get back into doing art streams too. What I do want to mention here is something I actually have planned coming up, because we're about to hit August, and the 8th of August is going to be the 8-year anniversary of Five Nights at Freddy's. And I made a nice video last year for it, and I want to do something again this year. So this year, and I guess it's like an official announcement of it. I guess I'm still working on it because it's a bit planning still. I'm planning on doing a 24-hour stream, and I'm gonna play through all of the main series games, and it's just gonna be something for fun. I want to do and try, and I hope to see you all there when it happens and when I officially announce it and all that. So it's gonna be cool, and I don't know how. I think it's gonna go well. I think I'll be able to do it just fine, but I just want to do it for funsies. So I hope to see you guys there when it happens. And other thing as well is I do have to pimp this out as well. Is my Twitter is at L Scribble Shack. It goes by Lucas S. I actually post art there as well. That's what I do for fun. And I've finally gone back and better at doing it. So always check out there as well if you can. And that would mean a lot to me as well. There's a PowPop Twitter as well. But they kind of just go hand in hand with each other.
Wow. Well, thank you very much, Lucas, for joining me. This is my channel, so I don't really have to pimp it out too much, but like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. All my social media is in the link below. Sorry I haven't been posting as much as I usually do, but a lot of stuff has happened in the last month and a half, and it's been pretty taxing on me, so that's had to take priority. I want to do more live streams. I just have fun doing these live streams. Like, this never would have happened in a regular video, doing any of this. But a lot more fun. Hopefully, I can do some more live streams. But a lot of stuff is changing, and I don't know what direction I'm going to be going in. So I don't want to get into it more than that. But anyways, thank you all for watching today. Lucas, once again, I want to thank you very much for joining me today. I had a blast.
I had a great time
too. I was in stitches there for a while. I was laughing, just talking about the X from outer space. Yes, this movie exists.
To really wrap it all together, to really bring it all home, the real X from outer space were the friends we made along the way.
Yes. Truer words have never been said before on any stream ever. Anyways, everybody, thank you very much for watching. This is Adam from AN Productions, and this was Lucas. Thank you very much for joining. And we're starting over. Okay, no.
Sick. So Space Amoeba.
And I just love the shift in mood from Space Amoeba to the X from outer space. That was really funny. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Peace out.
Goodbye.
Sayonara.